I'm Ryan Baker. Day baseball for both of Ohio's major league teams. Out in Kansas City, the Cleveland Guardians wrapping up their series with the Royals at 2:10. Slade Ciccone gets the ball for the Guards opposite Seth Lugo. 10 minutes after that at 2:20 over in Chicago, the Cincinnati Reds and the Cubs play the final game of their four-game set. Rhett Lauder versus Shota Imanaga, the pitching matchup. You can hear that one on the Fan 2 starting at 1:50. NBA playoffs tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers playing game 2 of their series with the Pistons up in Detroit. Tip is at 7. Detroit leads that one 1-0. At 9:30, Oklahoma City hosts the Lakers. Oklahoma City up in that one 1-0 as well. Just one game in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight as the Philadelphia Flyers host the Carolina Hurricanes at 8. Carolina leads that series 2-0. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, voted best credit union for the past 8 years in a row by CBUS Top Picks.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All righty, back at it. Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the loose cannon. Boys, I got to tell you, when I don't see you, I miss you. You may think that's a lie or something you just say for the radio. No, I'm serious.
When you can't miss us.
I did.
When you are doing what you did yesterday. No. There's no way that TLC and I crossed your mind at all when you're at Jack's place and you're roaming that beautiful course and you're talking to all the cool people that were there. TLC, I don't think
seriously, you guys are calling BS on that? You know I wouldn't just say that.
If it was a week.
I'm not calling BS on it. I'm just saying you shouldn't because you got 4 other days with us. And that's a special event that you were partaking in. I'm starting to think that maybe you didn't like who you were golfing with.
No.
Sounds like it's kind of sounded like, dang, like I'm on the course. I'd rather be with them, to be honest with you. So,
no.
I mean, no, that
Tim
could be.
Scotty and I had a great time. We decided to make it fun. Okay. I'm all about the highlights out there now. Years ago, it was about, hey, what could I shoot there? What's the number? Play your own ball. That garbage is ancient history. We 3-man scramble it, have a good time, play for the highlights. You know, can you hit the green at 8? Can you hit it at 12? Can you par this hole that's been a nemesis for years? Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, can you do it 18? Like that's what it's about. What they want to do, what it's really designed to do, yes, it's a perk. And it's a perk that you don't take lightly. This is the same reason that guys like me would say, I'm going to apply to work in Augusta, Georgia, so I could maybe win the media lottery and play that course. We never say that about this. I do. Mm-hmm. This is a reason. Now, we don't compare Columbus, Ohio to Augusta, Georgia as sports markets. That's the only reason that I'd want to work at Augusta, in Augusta. Columbus has so much more. And so, but this is a perk. This would be one of those things that if you worked in Columbus, Ohio, and you covered that tournament, which I have for 30 some odd years, that you realize that there's a love affair with it. For me, now you have to like golf, and you have to be somewhat of even a casual golfer to want to even endure what we did yesterday, which is walk.
Yeah, how's the body feeling right now?
Left Achilles is a little tight. It's the hill. It's the hills, Matty. It's the elevation changes. And usually I hit the wall about 15T. I was okay. It was going up the hill at 17 over the left side that I could feel the Achilles get a little tight.
Was there any pre-round stretching?
No.
You knew I was
Matty.
I've been trying to get Bobby and I have been trying to get you into this for years now.
I did it for one summer. I did.
So I
was willing to learn.
So we went from just straight. Did you guys go to the driving range? Do they allow that on media?
Yes, but it was a rush job. First of all, there was a great moment in the theater with Jack and his son Jackie too, and they went through the 50-year history of the memorial, and you just felt like you were at this little fireside chat with the founder and the host, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
And he's as good as he's ever been yesterday as far as remembering everything and why where he was at the Masters in 1966 and why that was so important, even though the Masters wasn't a championship. It was just a tournament of champions. And they wanted to create something like that. He wanted to create something like that here. And that idea was birthed, even the conception of that idea was in the mid-'60s. And then they he went through the whole process of it and what he wanted to bring here and didn't want to profit a dime from it. Always wanted to be about bringing something back here. Anyway, we had a great theater, and I am looking at the time. We're going at noon. We're still talking at 11:15, now 11:20, and now I know I've got to prioritize three things. Do I want to stretch? Hear them out. You can rank these for me.
Yeah.
Do I want to stretch?
Okay.
Do I want to hit some golf balls before I go out there? And do I want to eat? Now, I'm telling you, one of those things never happened.
Okay, here's another question I have for you, because I'm all about the fueling up part. Like, that's really important, right?
Okay.
Were there any chewy bars, protein bars, anything in the bag that was ready to go? Did we have any snacks in the bag?
I really failed the whole morning.
So you had no snacks, nothing in your bag?
I found. I located a banana in the locker room off the grill. But that was well after the presser. Mm-hmm. So now I'm kind of dying. It's 11:30 and there's some one-on-ones with Jack and I want to say hello and all that. So now I'm prioritizing. So the three things are eating, hitting golf balls, stretching. Yeah. And this is what happened. Stretching lost. That draft board, my big board, number one player on the board was eating. Mm-hmm. Like I have to get. I don't even care if I hit a golf ball. I want to eat. So I went back up there. They had a nice spread, and I hoovered that thing in about 5 minutes. No joke. Not only did he do that, little party foul, took a little half a sandwich to go.
I'm in on that. I don't think that's a party foul at all.
Yeah, but I'm just not sure whether you should be consuming anything like on a cocktail napkin in the locker room. Well, I changed my shoes.
There's vacuums. They'll be all right.
So that happened. Then to the range, slapped a few.
Okay.
And then we're off.
So what I'm hearing is your Achilles soreness is Jack's fault because he took too long with his speech. Is that what you're saying?
I never said that. I planned poorly. I'm going to own it. So we had a great time.
Good,
and
man, good.
Had some highlights. I'll tell you, a buddy of mine, Scott, said to me this morning, I was telling him about the round, and he had a great line. He said, I said, I hit probably the best shot, not as far as proximity, but the best looking shot, best feeling shot at the best hole, which is 12. Like, you stand on these tee boxes. That's why I've always loved Muirfield Village, is that I can go around, you can get in bed at night, you can close your eyes, and you can I can take myself around that course because every hole is so unique, right? You can just, in your mind.
Sticks with you.
It sticks with you. But there's no more nerve-wracking of a shot than standing on top of 12, over the water, wide, skinny green, bunker in front, bunkers in back. You can't be short, obviously, and you don't want to be long. And you're playing a little into the wind. We had about I think it was 147. And by the way, we have something going on here at the Fan where we make bets and nobody pays. Like
what happened now?
Well, Scotty offered okay, we're going to do another contest. And the whole Channel 10 versus the Fan, that failed because we were playing a scramble and they weren't. Somebody wanted to play their own ball in their little elite foursome.
And by the sounds of it, it sounds like 10 TV was going through some things yesterday as far as
you tell me
stuff that was prepackaged and people losing stuff. Like, it sounded like the Dom, Adam King, Nicole Sheeran, they had a lot going on yesterday. So maybe that
Pointing
affected
fingers,
their game.
Maybe like a team,
I'm not
in
sure.
disarray.
A lot of noise around the office yesterday as to something got lost that was important yesterday.
The integrity of the whole thing got lost. And so we did our own thing. We had a great time. And then we get to 12, and now we're doing a new contest. And Scotty says, all right, here's the deal. Total score, the three of us, and kind of similar to the Dinger draft. Okay. I think it was losers, or the winner gets the other two to buy him. Scott says lunch and dinner. Like, I don't know, I guess lunch wasn't enough.
Dinner.
We added another meal to it. And then, or the other one better was that the guy who finishes last just gets fired. And I was like, you know what? I'm relieved either way. I'm either going to get fed or I'll be retired. So anyway, so Tim went in the front bunker, Scotty's in the drink, and I'm going last. And back to my original thing, my friend Scott, I told him about this shot. And when I hit it, I just knew. You just know. And I'm holding the finish, and he said, that's probably the best 6 seconds on a golf course that you're watching that ball track at the green. Now, you don't know whether the yardage is correct.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, be the right one, be the right club today.
But it's lined up nicely.
It was all over it, and it just sailed right over the flag to about 9 feet.
Oh, yeah.
I burned the edge on the birdie putt, but it was tapping par, and it was like, that's all you want to live for.
Love it.
And so
I don't think I would last 10 seconds.
Well, let me tell you, when I don't even know how long that ball's in the air for. He said 6 seconds. It may have been, who knows, 8.5. And anyway, it was great.
I'm good. I'm glad you had a good time.
But I heard that, here's another thing, real fast. We hope to be out there this year for the tournament and do our little signature tradition like any other and just post up at the halfway house.
Absolutely.
Chef John.
He was in the building yesterday?
He was there. He made me my signature. He said, I got the Iceman this year.
Okay.
And I said, and then
I'll be there.
Tim and Scotty were like, well, he doesn't eat much. And so we're not really sure what he could make for you that you actually would eat there. And then I said to him, I go, well, if it doesn't have bread, he might eat it. You might just want to throw a couple slabs of turkey. And
That's really all I need. Any type of protein, veggie concoction that he can come up with. I'll probably be good on the sandwich.
Okay.
But if I can get some type of, I don't know, Italian sausage, I don't know, without a bun, like I'm in on that.
Italian
I'm in on that. Shout out to Chef John.
Without a bun. All right, perfect. So we had an awesome time. Thank you to Tom Sprouse and Dan Sullivan and the founder and host and Jack and Jackie. We really had a good time.
Good, man. Good.
Looking forward to being out there along with the tens of thousands of others that will be there every year. This is the 50th year. They did change. I'll tweet out a picture. The trophy this year will be the same type of trophy, but the jug is gold. So it's going to have a gold emblem in the middle for the 50th anniversary. And
that's an elite item
it'll
to have
be on again. And
in a man cave for one of the golfers. That trophy.
Yeah, hearing, no confirmation, but hearing that Rory is
he's in
significantly interested in making it a part of his schedule. Whether they can't say anything,
but he may be pushing for this just a little bit.
It's the one he hasn't won it.
Yeah.
So, and he's got the career Grand Slam. And by the way, I also heard that my old partner Bobby, what did Fitch say? Like threw me under the zinged me like 400 times or so.
I don't believe that's accurate.
Okay, because Bob texted me before the round. He texted me, and then I texted him back, and then he texted me, "Hey, no phones." Like, and then I said, "Well, I'm in the locker room. I'm in the free zone still." Oh, was it test?
Little test.
Okay,
little test.
You failed the test.
I wasn't on the course yet. Maybe he thought I was on the course already. Oh, that is a pretty good. By the way, that's kind of tricky that he'd pulled that off. But I wasn't on the course yet, so
you fell for it.
Jokes on you.
You were in the clear.
All right, so here's the deal. We got Schefter, bottom of the hour, the make good from yesterday. My boy Tim Timmons, former major league umpire, 23 years, I think, like 3,000 games or whatever, in studio at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Can't wait to hear some stories. And then it's a Gold Jacket Thursday. So at 2:30, Jerry Kramer, Green Bay Packer guard, Ice Bowl, block, 1967, Jethro Pugh of the Cowboys, back into the pews. And he will be with us then. We'll come back. And Steeler fans, just prepare yourselves. It's probably on. That's next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan. Get Eco.
Aaron, who taught you about business?
My mom.
Huh, really?
Yes, really.
What business was she in?
She was in the business of raising 3 kids by herself.
Single mom. That explains a lot.
What do you mean?
Well, it explains why you do an additional $500 worth of repairs for free when people have to buy a new hot water heater.
If someone had done that for Mom, she would have thought they were an angel sent from heaven.
Get Eco.
And it explains why you give people credit for all the money they spent with us for HVAC repairs when they need to buy a new system.
Yeah.
And it explains why you were such a maniac about finding a good toilet that we could sell fully installed for just $650.
Maniac?
You were a maniac, Aaron.
Get Eco.
We've got plumbers, we've got electricians, and we've got HVAC technicians. And every one of them has a mom.
I love you, Mom.
GetEco.com.
Some choose the fast way, others choose the easy way, but you do things the right way. That's why professionals and homeowners trust Boss Brothers Power Equipment, your source for Exmark mowers. Engineered to deliver the world's finest zero-turn mowers with a legendary quality of cut, durability that lasts for generations, and an experience that feels like anything but work. Because if it's worth doing right. Visit Boss Brothers Power Equipment with locations in Powell, Sunbury, and Marysville, and find the Exmark mower built for you. Boss Brothers Power Equipment, delivering enjoyment in mowing since 1989.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Our yoga instructor challenged us to find inner peace. I found it faster than anyone. After 4 seconds, I stood up and screamed, "I found Nirvana! I win!" They asked me to leave. I guess they don't respect winning. Bet365 does, though. New customers get $200 in bonus bets just for betting $10. Namaste, losers. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
May the savings be with you at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, lease a new 26 Elantra SE for $59 per month for 2 years. Just $59 a month for the May mega sale. This month only. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glexhyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus tax, title, first month payment, 7,500 miles per year, and 6-1.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Every student deserves a great public education. And this Teacher Appreciation Week, we're saying thank you to the dedicated professionals who make that possible. I'm Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing, inviting you to join us in celebrating Ohio's great public school educators. Tell us about a great teacher making a big difference, and they could win a vacation package from NEA member benefits or other prizes, including pizza for their students. Go to ohea.org/thank-a-teacher to nominate a teacher today.
Join our resident gambling degenerates, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money, Sunday mornings at 9.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly increasing clouds throughout the day today as temperatures struggle to get into the mid to upper 50s to low 60s with gusty winds. For tonight, increasing clouds overnight with our lows in the 40s. And then for Friday, we do have a chance of showers on and off throughout the day. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and warmer with highs in the mid to upper 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Anthony sometimes likes to sit and stare at his bundle of Emmy Awards. Unfortunately, it's through the glass of the pawn shop. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All righty. Let's get to Aaron Rodgers. We knew this was coming. So there's a lot of buzz around it. Here he comes back again. And if the reports of his visit back to the Steel City weren't strong enough, I guess he is visiting.
Ian Rappaport tweeted this out today. Free agent quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who is expected to visit the Steelers Friday and this weekend, will likely play for them in 2026, sources say. A deal is not done, and there is always caution until things are signed. But Rodgers' plan is to play for Pittsburgh, and these are the steps toward that end. That comes from Ian Rappaport this morning. And so it feels to me like they're just working out the financials at this point. maybe, the news that he heard about what they're trying to do or what they could do with his contract and all of that stuff and protect themselves to a certain degree was maybe a little alarming for him. And so now he's like, well, I want to commit to you guys, but I don't love that dollar figure that's out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if part of this from his side of things with his agent is we're going to ask for a little bit more than what you guys want to offer us. I think, to me, that's how I'm reading this, is that this is a financial thing.
All right, that's fine. That changes my view on it, though, because Rodgers was always it wasn't about the money anymore. It wasn't. I want to keep playing. I want to play where I want. I want to play where I can win the job, where I can have the job, where I'm not going to get a quick hook because I want to play football. And I'm still competitive and I want to help a team. So I can't imagine this is going to get to an absurd figure. No. And if it did, he wouldn't be flying there. I know that his agent would be like, all right, before we get on a plane and come to Pittsburgh, are we in the ballpark? Yeah. And I don't even know what I would pay him if I was the Steelers, because he's due a raise anyway, which isn't much. And like I said, at this point of his career, it shouldn't be about money. He's not a high-tier quarterback. He shouldn't be able to demand $25, $30 million, which I don't think he will, because I think he's realistic.
I think he's worth more, though, than what that unrestricted
15?
Free agent tender would get him, with a chance to get to $15 million that you're talking about. I'm with you, though. Like, if he comes to the table and he goes, hey, I want $40 million or $30 million, and you tell Aaron Rodgers we're good. Like, we're just not doing it. He probably thinks, and I think he's accurate in thinking this way, I've got a decent amount of leverage in this situation because it's either me or it's either Drew Aller or Will Howard or Mason Rudolph. And that's just reading where the Steelers are right now. I don't think they want to live in that world. And so he's going into this thing, I think, with a decent enough amount of leverage to ask for more money. But if it's ridiculous, then you tell him to kick rocks, I think, if you're Rooney and company over there.
Here's the Steelers' leverage. We don't need you anymore. We appreciate you, but we're moving on. We're going to develop a young quarterback. We're going to find our future. That's their leverage. You still want to play. Are you better than what we have? We probably feel like you are. Between the years, we know you are. But that's not a future. Like, he's hanging on, and they know it. So he may have leverage in that they want to win still, that his leverage is against this organization, that they're so hell-bent on staying above 500 or close to it, and we want to sell tickets, and we owe it to our fans to field a competitive team. But they also owe their fans a future, if they have one, that they don't know that they do. And so I don't love it, and I like him as far as what he can bring to a football team on a weekly basis.
What exactly don't you love?
I don't love that they're going to, again, re-up a guy that can't deliver a Lombardi to them and that never will.
What if it's just a 1 year? Let's go.
It's fine.
Are you good with 1 for 30?
Unless they...
1 for 30.
It's not even that, Maddie. I feel like the money now is irrelevant in this conversation because the money will never get to a point that they can't afford it probably, and they're not going to pay him top-tier money. Could they afford more than $15 million? Yeah, but I don't think they should. That's the point of this whole thing, is that they don't really need him right now. They're not a win. I mean, maybe they think they're competitive because they were division champs last year, and that's tough to let go. They're not coming from the basement. And they do feel like he gives them a higher floor. But I have to ask myself as an organization, what's important to us now? Our fans aren't going anywhere. Steeler fans are loyal. They're just not used to losing. And so that's the toughest sell to them. But you don't sell it that way. You sell that we have to find our future. And I think most Steeler fans are like, okay, if we had Rodgers, am I going to be mad about it because maybe we'll be a little more competitive? No. But they've got to find out if they have a future, and he's not it.
I think part of his leverage could also be the Arizona Cardinals in this, too. And if that is real, because there's some of that out there, too. So he can come to the table and say, well, if you don't want to pay me this dollar figure, then I'll go elsewhere and I'll be a starting quarterback for them. Maybe.
Is this because Kendrick Bourne was saying he was going to recruit him?
That was out there. There's a little smoke out there, and there's a starting job out there as well right now, too, with the uncertainty around Jacoby Brissett and whether or not he's going to be back in because he wants new money as well. I don't think that's going to be the case, but if we're talking about leverage specifically, that's a card that you can play. I just think Art Rooney, I think Mike McCarthy, with where their roster is right now, with some of the moves that they've made, bringing in Michael Pittman, you look at some of the stuff they've done in the draft as well, bringing in a offensive lineman in the first round, like all of those things for me can be deemed as kind of right now moves. And so I think that's the headspace that they're in. And I think, like you said, they look at Aaron Rodgers and they look at who's in their quarterback room in the landscape right now as far as free agent quarterbacks that are out there, and he's their best option. I also agree with you, though, that this probably isn't the best long-term play, but I don't think a lot of teams view it that way. Like, I really don't. I think they view it as, hey, we invested a lot in these guys financially, as some big-time contracts. We're kind of pushing our chips into a certain degree, not all the way, but with Rodgers, I think it's going to bring them more of a comfortable type of vibe going into the season, even though I think they should be a little uncomfortable this year.
I just don't think there's any long-term plan with him. There's nothing.
No, not at all.
He's only getting older.
Yeah.
And could they, unless their line is, let's get in the tournament again. Let's play some playoff football.
Kind of feels like that's where they're at.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We don't advance. We get in. Maybe we're competitive. Maybe we catch a team on a one-off, or maybe Aaron's got a little lightning left in that arm that we can, if he's healthy, if he can get through a season. That's the other gamble to all of this. We just assume since he's had an off season, he's going to be healthy for the whole thing. And then it's kind of a bust. Now, I know you don't go into it that way. You go into it thinking, hey, it's week one. He's healthy. Here we go. We owe it to the other players to field the best team we can, and our fans and our coaches and all of that. But from an organizational strategy, it's not great. It really isn't. And if he's going to...
what? Life's a gamble. Let's take him.
Thanks, Thurman. All right. That's fine. There is no gamble, really, though, when I think about it.
What they should be doing, in my opinion, is they should have parted ways already.
With a gamble.
They should have parted ways already. That's what they should have done. We shouldn't even be at this point.
That's what I'm saying. They could have easily said,
because he's not, his play doesn't warrant right now this much of a song and dance. It just doesn't. He's not that good anymore. He's just not. And so that's what happens, though, when teams are desperate at this position, is you put yourself in a corner with guys like this that don't have that much to offer anymore because there aren't any other options for you right now.
Well, this says more about what they don't have.
Yeah.
Honestly. This now says this is more of an insult to who's behind him, who's still there, that they don't believe. If they sign Rodgers, then they're telling you, we don't believe there's a future with the other guys. You're not bringing them in to mentor those guys. You're bringing them in to play. Rooney.
I don't see. To me, I think they think that they are doing both with the investment that they made in Drew Aller. To a certain degree, I think that's the case.
I understand. This has got to be an insult to Will Howard.
Where they drafted him, Drew, I think in his mind, he can think, well, they took me in the third round. I'm going to have some runway here to figure this thing out.
He can sit.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a complete across-the-board message that we don't believe in you guys. With everybody.
Not Aller.
To Will, I agree with.
Yeah.
To Aller, I don't think so.
You make me get out of bed. You make me come over here. You make me make a phony phone call to Edward Rooney? And then you deliberately hurt my feelings? No.
Oh, no way. The Irishman.
No.
He doesn't like that movie.
Oh.
I need to watch it again, but that's a tough ask.
It's a grind. It's a long movie.
I thought you guys would get this one because every time Maddie mentions Art Rooney, I always drop this line.
I know.
All right.
Yeah. What is it?
No power cores on the line today. Core powers. That would be a Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, okay.
No day off for Adam Schefter. He's back in 2 minutes. We'll ask him if this is close and will it get done. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
How do you make a UDF ice cream quake? Easy. Pick any flavor of UDF ice cream, add your favorite mix-ins, and you've got a quake. Now, how do you pick your flavors and mix-ins? That's the hard part. Ice cream quakes. Only at United Dairy Farmers.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2026 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and The Fan to relaunch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes going above and beyond. We are calling on you to help us recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in your community to be recognized on 10 TV and The Fan. Send in your nominations and stories to 10tv.com/raisetheroof. 10tv.com/raisetheroof. Nominate a local hero today and help us raise the roof for those who make a difference.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org.
Come into your local AAA Tire and Auto Service and save up to $75 on brake service. Save $25 on brake replacement for one axle or $75 off for brake replacement for two axles. Terms apply. Offer ends May 30th. See store for details.
The Reds are on the radio.
Swung on, crushed, high, deep, left field. There it goes. A 3-run go-ahead blast for Eugenio Suarez. They're waving around Friedel. Up throwing Anthony. Throw to the plate, not in time. And the Reds walk it off at 11, 6-5.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
All right, he's our guy. He's on the case, always. Senior NFL insider Adam Schefter with us. Love having you back. How was the, I know you had a little golf excursion with the boys, right?
How'd you know that? Did I tell you that?
I don't know. Maybe you didn't. Maybe I have sources.
Yeah, obviously you do. I had a 2-day golf excursion the last couple of days, and it was very nice. The weather was brutal. It was incredibly some of the windiest conditions I've ever played in my life. But it's always nice to be out with a bunch of friends and playing golf. That's never a bad thing.
Good for you, man. I just hit it low. You know, that's when the worm burners come into an advantage. When it's that windy.
It was. I'm just telling you, I don't think I've ever played a wind like that in my life. And then yesterday it was raining, and it was brutal conditions. But whatever, it's fun.
How'd you score? Did you measure yourself against other golfers?
I stunk.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not very good. Yeah,
that's good.
Not very good.
You know what? That's a quick post-round press conference. How'd you play today, Adam? I stunk. All right, on to the next question. You could just go to Belichick. All right, on to the next round.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was not what I was hoping or wanted, but that's the way it goes.
I think it's always so funny when people say, "Oh, I just want to go have fun." Listen, having fun is playing well. Like 4 hours out there playing like garbage is not like. I love when people say, "Oh, just try to have fun. Don't care." It's almost impossible.
The sport is so much more fun when you're playing it okay. You know,
that's right.
You know, so that's the way it kind of goes.
My big quote about when Marv Lewis was with Cincinnati, I came up with a slogan for the Bengals. We're gonna make the Cincinnati Bengals a lot more okay. That was what I was thinking about whether they're going to keep him or not. So let's dive into this Rodgers report. He is going to be in Pittsburgh tonight. Is that true?
I don't listen. Other people said that. I don't know that.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I've not gotten that information.
Okay. So where do you believe this stands with Rodgers and the Steelers?
I think we're in the same spot. I think here's the deal. I think we all know that we're getting close to a time where, look, the Steelers have minicamp May 18th. It's May 7th. So if Rodgers is going to come back, and we've thought all along that was the likely scenario, you would think that we're going to get an answer from him sometime in the coming days. Correct? I mean, like That's just where we're kind of at right now. And I don't think anything has changed with that. But obviously, we're getting closer to the 18th, and there are reports that he's closer to the decision. The people I've spoken to don't know that to be true. Doesn't mean it's not. Aaron Rodgers operates and does what he wants. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out.
Schefter, what's your understanding of maybe the interest between, let's say, the Arizona Cardinals and Aaron Rodgers? Has that been a thing at all over the last couple of weeks?
I have not heard that to be a thing at all. Okay. I know it's come out in the media. It doesn't mean it's not, but I have not heard that confirmed at all.
There's a little talk about he's due this 10% raise, right? Brings him up to $15 million because of the tender that you reported that he get a 10% raise. Anything else you're hearing as far as if he does come back with the Steelers, if money will come into play with this?
Well, I think that they have to figure that out. The contract, there's no agreement in place between the two sides. Now, there's the tender offer, and they could operate off that. But, again, there's no agreement between the two sides. And so until that happens, there's no deal. So there's no deal. There's no scheduled visit. He may be coming by on his own. He may be doing that because he's Aaron Rodgers and he does what he wants. But as of this morning, there was no scheduled visit. There was no knowledge within the organization that he'd be visiting. They didn't know. There's no agreement between the two sides. And again, but we're getting close to the May 18th veteran mini camp that I would think that if he's going to play, he would be at that.
You know, Maddie and I were discussing this on what this should mean for a guy like Will Howard or a guy, Drew Aller, who they just drafted. And from a strategy standpoint, does Aaron Rodgers give them experience and all that and maybe some talent still in a higher floor? But it's really odd that the Steelers aren't leaning into more of a future. Like, if this happens, it tells me that, okay, McCarthy wants him because all coaches want the best guy they can have. But from an organizational standpoint, it would almost make sense for them to say, we're moving on. We got to find a future. Do you find it odd that they want to re-up with him?
No, because I think that he gives them, in their minds, the best chance to win this year. And they know it's a short-term proposition. They know they're not going to get, a long time out of him. But if they feel like he's the best option, why would you not go there?
So, yeah, go ahead.
You wouldn't go there because then it stunts another year of figuring out whether you have a future and not marrying a 43-year-old quarterback.
They're not worried about the future. They're worried about winning this year.
Well, what I'm saying is it tells me they don't think they have a future with Will Howard, or they would say, let's go.
I don't agree with that at all.
Okay.
They don't like that guy. But I think for this season, right now, they like Rodgers more.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see how they manage all of that, right? With maybe kind of the two timelines vibe going on, which is always a tough thing to manage, in my opinion. But Schefter, I wanted to ask you this about now Stephon Diggs, because he leads the Pats in receiving yards last year. Then you get to the offseason, he has to deal with some legal stuff, and it sounds like that's clearing itself up just a bit here. So the latest with Stephon Diggs, and I guess maybe the level of interest you're expecting from teams when it comes to trying to bring him in.
Well, I would think that most teams are waiting for resolution here to see what the likely outcome would be. And now that has happened, they can go on and see exactly where he's at, whether he wants to play. I would think that there would be some interest in him moving forward now that is cleared up.
You anticipate anything with C.J. Stroud as far as an extension or no?
Not right now. I think in time it could be, but I don't think that's pressing and imminent for that organization at this moment.
It seems like there is a decent amount of confidence, Schefter, that next year's draft is going to provide some really good players. Now, we kind of did that this past cycle, right, with Klubnik and a lot of the other quarterbacks. From the people that you've been talking to and what you've been hearing about that, what's your feeling on how strongly the league feels about the 2027 draft?
Well, I think it's regarded right now as a quality draft today. Now, I think a year ago we would have said that the past year's draft also would have been quality, and it didn't work out that way. So you have to see how the whole year and season plays out. But I think going in, I think there are high hopes for that draft. And so let's see if the season measures up to that. And I think teams are excited right now. But again, it all depends on how the year goes. But right now there seems to be a quality pool of talent available in the 2027 draft.
Hey, Schefter, before we cut you loose, any of these bottom tier teams from last year putting in work about Sorsby on whether they would go into a supplemental draft, specifically the Browns?
Yeah.
Have you heard anything?
Well, I think that's a really interesting question. He is petitioning the NCAA to try to regain his eligibility. If he doesn't, where does it go? And obviously it would go likely to the supplemental draft, which the league has not had. It would have to re-implement the draft. There hasn't been a player drafted in the supplemental draft since 2019. We'll see if he does that, if it goes down that way. If he were to be in the supplemental draft, I do think there would be a lot of interest. It would be very interesting to see where a team would be willing to pick him. I'd have to make more calls in his talent level, but I know that, he's a pretty talented guy. I don't know whether there would be or wouldn't be a team that is willing to give up its first-round draft pick for him next, especially considering that it's a great draft. Like, can you imagine that you give up your one and you finish with the worst record, and you gave up your one for Sorsby, and you can't get Dante Moore or Arch Manning, whoever's available? Like, that could work great. It could backfire too. So I think people would be a little bit careful. But if he were in the supplemental draft, I have no doubt that he would be a high pick. The question is how high.
Okay. Good stuff, my man. Welcome back, and have a great rest of the week. Thanks.
Guys, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yep, good stuff with our friend Adam Schefter, senior NFL insider from ESPN. He was on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fangast hotline. Why don't we come back and maybe examine a couple or few of the teams that might actually do that for Sorsby. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. This is the time of year to enjoy some nice weather. Usually the temperature's pretty good. Those nice spring days where you get outside, you just feel that breeze. It's awesome. But coming soon, it's the hot, hot months of summer, and we know in those months, you're going to want your air conditioning running. You're going to want your windows to keep that cold air inside your house. You don't want to lose money running your air conditioner constantly, all because your builder grade or old windows are just not getting the job done. That's where Window Nation comes in. Window Nation's got their buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. You can replace all the windows in your home for summer and get half of them for free. Plus, you can get 0 down payment and no payments or interest for 2 years. And of course, all Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Schedule your fast free consultation now. WindowNation.com. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. WindowNation.com.
No one plans to get into an accident, but when it happens, we strive in making life easier for you. This is Justin Hinderer. The Hinderer Motor Company Collision Center is ICAR certified and certified by many manufacturers to provide the best quality repair available. All of our repairs come with a lifetime warranty. We have our own 24/7 towing service, so you never have to wait. Plus, we offer on-site rental cars for every lifestyle. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
Hey Central Ohio, Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and we buy houses for cash. If you've got a house you need to sell, this is your season. Inherited, behind on payments, just over it? Whatever brought you here, we can help. We buy as is, we cover all closing costs, and there are 0 commissions, period. Just a fair cash offer and you choose your closing date. People are making moves right now, and we make it simple to be one of them. One call is all it takes. We'll get you a fair cash offer, fast, no pressure, no obligation. Hundreds of your neighbors have already sold the easy way, and we've got 5-star reviews and BBB A+ rating to back it up. Take what you want, leave what you don't. We're based right here in Columbus, and we're ready when you are. Call us at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355 or visit selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, family owned. Call 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Good news. Jack has personally invited the fan to the Memorial Tournament, and we're broadcasting 30 hours of live content, and we'll try not to embarrass ourselves.
Sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org. The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
Matty promises he'll continue to do the show even if he wins the lottery. If only we believed him. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, it wasn't like a throwaway question. I know it was my last question to Schefter about Sorsby. But I guess there just hasn't been enough concrete stuff about it. And he even admitted, I got to make some more calls on that. But so the supplemental draft process is very interesting. It's he was one of the top transfers. We know that. And now he's under investigation for gambling as an active college player. And he's been under investigation since 2022. And he stepped away from Texas Tech to deal with all this, what he claims is a gambling addiction. I don't know if that's real or whether that's to gain a little more sympathy or to kind of find your way through this mess, or maybe all three. So he's got to consider a future, and he may just pull ripcord on college and go to the NFL. Seen guys do that. The NFL actually has not a loophole. They have a real ability to lever this for a college kid. By the way, after the draft has already happened. So he could make the decision to join the NFL this season, just go into the supplemental draft. And so it takes place in August, and it's the college players who didn't go into the draft, as I said, but had some eligibility issues and decided to say, I'm done with college. So it isn't used a lot. It has been used in the past, and the best player to probably come out of it is one of our own. Chris Carter, and a Hall of Famer coming from the supplemental draft. We've saw Terrell Pryor do it. We've seen Josh Gordon.
Bernie Kosar.
Bernie. Weekend at Bernie's. So here's the qualification, just so we all know the scorecard here. These are the teams that would be eligible. 6 or fewer wins. Non-playoff teams with 7 or more wins, playoff teams. And that's in order to select a player. So a team must bid a draft pick, as Schefter said, on a player with the highest bid securing the rights. But only a certain amount of people are eligible to be at this auction. It's by invite only to that criteria. So here we go. Jets, Cardinals, Dolphins, Browns, Lions. The last thing I assume the Browns fans would want to hear is, wait a minute. We're adding another quarterback, one that has a baggage and is working through things just a few months ago.
Yeah.
I don't think this would make. They drafted Taylor Green, and I read something today that Browns are putting in work on this. All right, do your due diligence. Don't spend a lot of time on it. I guess if they felt he was a generational player and he's a big kid, they can get a guy. But I think this is the last thing they would be considering, especially with how good they've been at strategizing their future with picks and things.
It's interesting, right? Because on one hand, if he is what we're being told he is, and he's a good player, we've all watched him a few times. I don't know if he's an elite guy yet. I don't see that from him. But the Browns aren't in a position right now to scoff at this idea. How much you invest in it, it's a whole other conversation. But because of where they are right now with the uncertainty at the quarterback position, they better be doing homework on this because this may be a golden ticket for you. You just don't know. Now, selling this to your fan base, we're bringing in another guy with some questionable at best off the field stuff. Do they care about that? I don't know. I don't know. But I think that's a tough sell. I think it is because it was rough for them and brutal out of the gate, and it should have been with the whole Deshaun decision. We all understand how ridiculous that was at the time. But this is, again, we're bringing in a guy that now we're bringing in a gambling addict, if it's true, right? That's just alleged that the issue that he's working with.
He's going to emergency addiction counseling.
Good for him.
This will be quick.
Good for him. But I think all of those teams that you mentioned, yes, you do all the homework you can on a guy like this because this could be the difference. This could be what brings you relevancy. This could be what brings you playoff appearances. If he is that good. Again, I don't think he is that much of a difference maker for me to invest in him and give up elite draft capital. But I think it's just about weighing what you think your team is now and what they're going to be next year and whether or not you think you're going to be in the mix to get one of those top guys or what are being deemed as some of the top guys for next year.
To quote a certain viral clip that I love, when you see something like this, you run the other way. This is not something they should be doing. First of all, their team is a quarterback carousel already. Adding another, I think the Dolphins kind of jump out to me as a team that might consider it. I know they signed Malik.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Quinn Ewers, Cam Miller.
But Malik's not at a point to where you're saying we should be looking at quarterback options because we have no idea
that's
what he
right.
is.
And that's kind of where I'm going with it. Because the Browns have, they think they've got something to Deshaun. Plus, he's a very wealthy and now supposedly healthy quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And so they want to see if they can recoup some of that money and see if they can win with him before they go back to Shedeur, it sounds like. And then they may feel like, so they don't want to spend that. The Lions, Goff and Teddy B.
Nah, they don't need to waste their time with this.
Well, here's the only difference. Well, in this day and age, over 30 is not old. So, but they're on the other side, right?
I don't really think so. I think the Lions are in a good spot for the next, let's say, 5 years. Feels that way to me.
Well, Detroit owns all of its picks in the next year's draft. They could use a mid-round pick to take a chance on Sorsby. That's, however this auction goes, maybe some of these teams will be scared off, and then one of these teams could get him for less.
If you're the Lions and you do this with Sorsby, what message does that send to Jared Goff?
I don't think it sends any message to him at all.
What type of capital?
I really don't.
Well, let's say they gave up a second or first round pick to do it.
Yeah, I'm saying mid, but
the third round pick?
Yeah, mid-round pick.
I think the Lions are one of the least likely teams to do it because they already have dealt with gambling scandals on their own team. Headaches.
But he's going to be fixed.
Good call.
For Sorsby?
Yeah. He's going to be fixed, right? By then.
Teams will sell teams.
I don't know.
I think teams will ignore these type of things if they think he's that good.
Well,
if they think he's that good, they're not going to care.
You bring up something interesting. Where is gambling and off the field stuff? Because I agree with TLC. Gambling actually is one that is tougher to sell to your fans, to your team, to the ownership, all that, versus a guy that just, quote, made a mistake off the field. Like, it's weird that I would say that, but I think that's what teams are like, okay, that's muddying the waters. Oh, domestic stuff, and we can find our way through that. There's two sides to every story.
Here would be the way to spin it. You say he didn't commit a crime, he just broke league rules, but it wasn't in our league, so he's got a clean slate here. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it won't happen again.
All right. Well, this will be an interesting one to watch. First of all, whether he does it, we don't know. And then whether one of these teams decides, hey, maybe we can get him for cheap or relatively cheap. All right. We're going to come back top of the hour. Looking forward to this. Tim Timmons, former Major League umpire. The stories will be epic and maybe even a chance for you to ask him a question as well. Tune in top of the hour. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a data analyst.
Hey, what model did you use for these quarterly projections?
Astrology. If Mercury's in retrograde, sales tank. If Venus is rising, we crush Q4.
You built our revenue forecast off horoscopes?
Yeah, the Zodiac never lies.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast Gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for like so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Get up to $750 cash back when you refinance your auto loan with Tel-Ohio Credit Union. Visit telhio.org to learn more.
Offer valid until June 30th, subject to credit approval. Restrictions apply. Tel-Ohio is open to all in central and southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Bring your landscape back to life with an unbeatable deal from Ohio Mulch. 5 bags of premium mulch for just $10. You choose from absolute black, brown, or red to make your flowers pop and your curb appeal shine. Whether you're refreshing flower beds or finishing up that weekend project, Ohio Mulch, they have everything you need to make it look like a pro did it.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
More and more orthopedic surgeons around the country are taking a new look at regenerative medicine as an alternative.
Everybody that I've talked to, my colleagues around the country, are excited about the upside and think that this is the way medicine is going in the future.
That's orthopedic surgeon Dr. Ray Tessner, who's now at QC Kinetics, treating patients with natural biologics, giving lasting joint pain relief with no drugs and no surgery.
I like the fact that it's natural. I like the fact that it's safe.
At QC Kinetics, they take highly concentrated healing agents from your own body and put them in your hurting joints with the goal of healing and repairing damaged tissue.
QC Kinetics has become a leader in the regenerative medicine field. Their products are the best available out there right now.
Get lasting relief from joint pain today.
Regenerative medicine is going to be a big part of the future.
Get your free consultation today at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman Zach Werenski has been named one of 3 finalists for the Norris Trophy. That's given to the league's best defenseman each year. Werenski, who finished second for the award last season, registered 22 goals, 59 assists, and 81 points for the Jackets this season. Colorado's Cale Makar and Buffalo's Rasmus Dahlin are the other finalists. Day baseball coming up here in a little more than an hour. Out in Kansas City, the Cleveland Guardians wrap their series with the Royals at 2:10. 10 minutes after that at 2:20 in Wrigley Field, the Cincinnati Reds and the Cubs play the final game of their 4-game set. You can hear that on the Fan 2 starting at 1:50. NBA playoffs tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers up in Detroit playing game 2 of their series with the Pistons. Tip is at 7 at 9:30. Oklahoma City hosts the Lakers. This one's sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, Pataskala, and online at rcdrv.com.
You're listening to Rothman Ice on 97.1, The Fan.
Indeed. Oh, there are certain people born to do something, and I feel like he was. Maybe he doesn't feel like that. He'll tell us. Probably close to 3,000 regular season games. Major League Baseball, playoffs from Bishop Watterson to Muskingum to Ohio State. He's lived a life on the diamond, and now he's decided to lower the bar as low as he can in retirement. My guy, Tim Timmons, former Major League umpire. Good to have you in studio. We've talked about it for weeks.
Well, we have, and I tell you what, you were tenacious, and umpires sort of prefer to be behind the scenes and not in front of the microphone, but you convinced me. You got a good show here, you guys, so I'm excited to be here.
You can eject one of us if you want. It's okay.
Oh, no, I tell you what, that's the one thing I miss, especially at home with my wife. You know, I have not been right. I mean, I was right half the time when I was on I haven't been right in almost 4 years now. Not once. She just laughs at me. She goes, no. And I'm, oh, okay.
She's the human ABS system.
She is.
Yeah.
She is.
She can challenge anything you say as long as she does it in 2 seconds or no?
Well, I tell you what, I've tried to get a replay system because I'm convinced I'm right. And I'm like, we just need to set up video cameras in every room and record. She'll just be like, that's not how it went down. I'm like, well, I beg to differ.
Tim, am I correct? Were you born to be on the diamond for your whole life?
You know what? I tell you what. There are certain times in your life, if you're fortunate, you have a little moment of clarity. So when I started umpiring, I went to Muskingum and I was going to make a living playing baseball. It took me about one season at, Division III at Muskingum to figure out, I probably don't have the tool set for that, but I always wanted. I grew up around it. My dad officiated in the Big Ten and in the MAC, and so I go down, sit in the press box while he was umpiring Dick Finn, at Ohio State with the Buckeyes, and I grew up around it. So I wanted that to be part of my life, and I just went to umpire school to get better games because I was driving from Clintonville down to London. I had 14 of the freshman games in a 65 Chevy Stepside. I drove back 3 on the tree, and that was a long ride. And I said to my dad, who was the president of the local association, I said, Dad, can I get some better games? He goes, you're no different than everybody else. You got to do camps and clinics. So I ended up going to umpire school just to get better games. And about the second week, I was looking around, and I was like, I'm fairly decent at that. And I'm not honest with myself very often, but it ended up, I didn't go down there to get a job in professional baseball, but that's how it worked out. So everything happens for a reason.
Let's talk a little bit about umpire school.
Yes.
And that process and what you had to go through to become a legit major league umpire. So walk us through that window of time and what that is like for you guys to have that box checked off.
Okay. So at that time, there were 3 umpire schools. Brinkman's, Wendelstadt's, and then Jim Evans Umpiring Academy. And there were about 450, maybe 470 students total in those 3 schools. So it was a 5-week course, and then at the end of the 5 weeks, they select about 20 to 23 kids out of each school, and then they send you to an evaluation camp. So I got selected to go to the evaluation camp, and I was going to Ohio State in history, and I called and talked to Dr. Tootle, who was the dean of the liberal arts college, and I had talked to him because I was going to miss a couple of days. I says, like, Dean Tootle, and he is a huge baseball fan. Like, he does quite a bit with the who are the guys that play down at the Historic Society. But anyway, he's a huge baseball historian, but there's more to that story, maybe for another time. He said, no, Tim, go ahead. Yeah, good luck. And so I ended up getting selected. So I had the last amateur game I had worked was at McCord Field up in Worthington. And I think it was like post 485. And I went from umpire school to umpire evaluation camp, which was 10 days. And they gave 6 spring training slots and minor league spring training out of the 450. And I think I was the only one to make it to the big leagues out of my class that year. And when I went to Cubs and the Cubs camp in Mesa, the first game, they always put the rookie on the AAA game. You get the plate. So I went from McCord Field to working the AAA game for the Cubs, and Rick Sutcliffe, pitching. And like the 5th or 6th curveball he threw, the catcher turned around. He's like, well, what's so funny? Because I'm back there, it's coming in, and I'm like, holy Steve. I mean, I'm looking around the catcher because I'd never seen anything like that. So, yeah, that's sort of baptism by fire. But that was my first indication that, professional baseball was maybe going to be a little bit different than amateur, especially as the water got warmer, the higher up you went. So,
it's like that scene in Naked Gun where Leslie Nielsen's like, strike? And everybody cheers. They're like, okay, here we go.
Hey.
All right, so fast forward a little bit. You tell Dr. Tootle, hey, school can wait. I'm now going.
Well, actually, when I got into professional baseball, they were paying if you got a 3-point. I mean, there was enough time to maybe get a quarter or a quarter and a half if I went to Ohio State. So, but I worked that first year. I worked spring training with the Cubs and extended spring training out there in Arizona, and then from there went to the New York Penn League, and then I had instructional ball that year. So basically, January 2nd through I think it was like November 11th or 12th, I was gone. I was umpiring baseball games. So it just sort of happened. Then the next year, I got promoted to Carolina League, and then the year after that, I see Tootle. I'm in Durham at the Durham Athletic Park, the DAP. What's the movie? Bull Durham. Bull Durham, and I'm working a plate, and about the 3rd inning, I hear, hey, Tim, and I look over, and it's Dr. Tootle and his wife, because they would get in the car and drive around the country and go to minor league ballparks. And so I said, come down after the game. And your studio is probably 3 times as large as the locker room. Like, literally, there was a stool in the shower that had like a tar, asphalt packed down tar ring, just a circle. and a hose with a shower head on it. And then you had a commode, and then, you hung your uniforms. That was our locker room. So Dr. Tootle came in, and he looks around. He goes, "This is fabulous." I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
That's great.
So,
That's amazing. You told the story about Rick Sutcliffe and being behind the dish and realizing, okay, there's levels to this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which pitcher or pitchers, when you were behind the dish at the big league level, had some of the nastiest stuff, some of the toughest stuff to call?
Well, Pedro, I remember I had a spring training game because I've got a home. Leslie and I have a home down in Fort Myers, and I always had spring training with the Twins and the Red Sox. I remember spring training game. I worked the plate, and Pedro, I think he threw like 4 or 5 innings. It was later in the spring. All he threw were changeups. I mean, that's the kind of guy he was. He was working on things. So, I mean, that guy was amazing, and he could dot it up. Maddox could dot it up. I mean, I remember the first time I had Maddox in a game, the first pitch he threw to a right-handed hitter on the very edge, like the ball split the outside edge, not even the black, split the edge of the white, strike. And then the next one was maybe an inch and a half further. I called that a strike. The next one was probably another half an inch to 3/4 of an inch further out. I said ball. And then the last pitch was where the second strike was. I mean, he threw 4 pitches. I called strike 3, and I was like, okay, this is different. And that's when I was going up and down. You go up and down, so you don't have a job.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
And that's the thing. I mean, you try and if I could somehow package what the umpire sees, hears, smells when when they hit one on the screws, you can smell the pine tar burn. Until the last month that I was working, guys would do things that I never, after 25 years in the big leagues, would you think that you would be mouth agape. But it was amazing what they could do. And if somehow that could be packaged, which is what they try and do, what Major League Baseball is trying to do with the cameras and on the home plate umpire. But if you could really get a front row seat and see what the umpire experienced, both from the plate and from the field, and the atmosphere and just the gamesmanship and the whole package, you'd have to build the stadiums 250,000 people. I mean, that's how different it is. And people, it's like golfers. I imagine you played golf yesterday. Well, you told me you played golf yesterday in the presser, and I asked you if you beat Taberry, and you said, yeah, I guess. So anyway, but
I said I showed up.
You showed up.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
No, you asked.
Is he knocking on the glass out there?
He might be.
But I think that golfers think, well, if I get my number down, if I get to scratch, I can play at that level. Not even close.
Right.
And that's the thing. I don't think people think that they can, the whole pay to play thing with the kids now. The kids need some time off. I'm over at St. Matthew's with their athletic association. Kids need time off. Kids need time to be kids. And, I think that people, he can be, a big league pitcher. This kid's big enough. He's got the size. He can be, make a living playing football. I mean, it's just, there's only, you joked about it, I was born to do this. I do believe that, sometimes, people are put in certain positions to accomplish things. And if you get out of the way, then hopefully good things happen. You're able to do some good with it. So.
Tim Timmons with us, former Major League umpire, right from here in Columbus, Ohio. Up next, we're going to relive. Matt asked you about some milestone guys, and you have been behind the dish for some big, big moments. I want to ask you about those and maybe the pressure that comes with that. And also, is ABS the beginning of the end for umps? We'll ask him next. Tim Timmons in studio, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Did your HVAC struggle through this rough winter? When it comes to your home comfort, trust the local experts at Columbus Worthington Air. Right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with our trade-in allowance program. At CWA, we treat your home like it's our own with safe, reliable service backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Columbus, Worthington Air, and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit CWAOhio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers, tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
May the savings be with you at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, lease a new 26 Elantra SE for $59 per month for 2 years. Just $59 a month for the May mega sale. This month only. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glexhyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus tax, title, first month payment, 7,500 miles per year, and 6-1.
As the saying goes, trust is earned, never given. When it comes to your roof, who you trust truly matters. At Newman Roofing, we're more than just a business. We're a local, family-owned company built on honesty, integrity, and hard work. From the very beginning, these core values have shaped the way we do business, ensuring a customer experience that's second to none. Our dedication to quality has earned us the trust of thousands of homeowners across Central Ohio. At Newman Roofing, excellence isn't just a word, it's our promise to you. From the moment we step foot on your doorstep to the final handshake, we strive to deliver an experience that keeps you calling back for more. Whether you need a roof repair or a full replacement, our team at Newman Roofing is here to protect what matters most. After all, when your name is on it, it just means more. So give us a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Hi, I'm Josie. My daughter turns 5 today. Blow out the candles. I'm also an Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can get home to celebrate with my daughter.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
The Fan is headed to the Memorial. Are you ready for 30 hours of live coverage? Oh, it's true, baby.
Sponsored by The Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. TheWaterworks.com.
The best Memorial coverage, The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly increasing clouds throughout the day today as temperatures struggle to get into the mid to upper 50s to low 60s with gusty winds. For tonight, increasing clouds overnight with our lows in the 40s. And then for Friday, we do have a chance of showers on and off throughout the day. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and warmer with highs in the mid to upper 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. The best teams don't always win titles. Sounds like AR and Maddie bragging about their fantasy teams.
Hey, that's cheating.
This is Rothman and Ice.
Pleasure to have our friend Tim Timmons in studio, former Major League umpire. Behind the plate, I believe, for Randy Johnson, the big unit's 300th. Albert Pujols' 600th homer. Means no hitter. You've had some incredible milestones. Before I get to those, though, because I don't want to forget to ask you, because you brought up Bull Durham. And so I'm a big movie guy, and inherently in movies, there are coaches, whether this was in Hoosiers with Gene Hackman wanting to get tossed on purpose, or whether it's, Kevin Costner wanting to get thrown out, like this or that, or catchers tipping off hitters against their own pitchers. There has to be in your 23-plus year career a manager that came out of a dugout to purposely be thrown out, and then the acting begins. Correct? This had to have happened in your career.
It happens.
All right. You want me to tell me who? There has to be somebody, some manager.
Well, this guy's active, so I don't know if it's...
I bet I can guess. You say he's active?
He's active.
You want to just nod if I say it?
Well, you say it, I'll tell you hypothetically.
You cannot confirm nor deny?
I can't confirm nor deny.
Tito?
Okay, I'll tell a story. It may or may not be Tito.
Okay.
I'm working the bases in Boston. Hypothetically, it is this manager's first year. It was later in the year. They were struggling a little bit, and I had a steal play, and it was wide open. And I had known this manager. We come up through since A-ball. Good guy, fair guy, and he comes out and he goes. I turn around. I'm like, what's going on here? And he's like, hey, he goes, you got to run me. I go, what? He goes, you got to run me. I go, on this? He goes, yeah. He goes, these people want to kill me. I go, you sure you want to go on this one? He goes, yeah. I go, all right. I said, start throwing your arms up in the air. And he goes, so he starts throwing his arms. He goes like this. And I go, yeah. And I said, all right, now bob your head. I'm going to bob my head back at you. And he's bobbing each other's head. And he goes, well, what should I do now? And I go, take your hat off. And I said, and then you throw your hat. As soon as you throw your hat, I'm going to let you go big. He goes, all right, let me go big. And I go, all right. So he takes his hat off and he fires his hat. And I go, boom. I go, get out of bang, you're done. And so I said, get in my face. He gets in my face. And I go, I tell you what, I think you're doing a great job. You got a tough squad here. I mean, it's your first year. It's everything will be. He goes, I know. He goes, they want to kill me. And I said, just hang in there. He goes, hey, you look mighty good in that uniform. And I go, you do too. All right. He grabs his hat. He goes,
to critical acclaim.
I tell you what, I got Bobby Cox's last ejection too. I ejected Bobby Cox. I was going up and down, and it was my first year going up and down. And Bobby had yelled from the dugout. He said, this is obviously before replay because I'm old, and I had a hit batsman. He was on defense, and I had a hit batsman, called a hit batsman. And he goes, you can't see that out of the dugout. And I said, I didn't see it. I said, I heard it. He goes, you can't see or hear. And I said, Bobby, that's enough. He goes, you're blind. Bang, done. And after the game, I'm walking down the hallway, and Bobby was always a buttoned-up guy. He was always had a blue blazer on, always had a tie on, like all the time. And he's walking down the hall, and I'm walking the other way. And I had always heard that he was every day's a new day. He's a great guy. Got ejected a lot, but didn't hold a grudge. And he said, hey, kid, I looked at the replay. He said, you got that right? And I said, oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Bobby. He goes, you like a cigar? And I go, yeah. And he reached in his pocket, and he pulled out a cigar. It was a Romeo and a Julieta. And I was like, okay, here you go, kid. So he gave me the cigar. So that was the first time. The last time I ejected him, we were in Atlanta, and it was the year after he retired. And he had brought the lineup cards out, and he's got his coat and tie on, and he gives the lineup card, and the manager's there, and we're talking BS. And I said to him, and I mean, it's a packed house. I go, Bobby. He goes, yeah, Tim. I go, you want to go one more time? And he said, absolutely. So I turned around, I wheeled, and I ran him. I mean, the place went up for grabs. It was awesome.
That's great.
And then he hugged all the umpires, and people were, I'm sure, like, what is going on?
You're not supposed to like each other.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When it came down to ejecting players, managers, whoever, like, how much rope did you give them? Were there magic words to where you automatically heard that and they were gone? Like, take us through that process as an umpire.
Well, that's the thing. And so a lot of people think the magic word is a, 2-syllable word or 3-syllable word, and it's not. That's not the magic word. The magic word is you. And I think the magic word in life is you as well. Like, you are this, or you did this intentionally, or that's you miss, you can't miss that. That's terrible, or, that's a shame, or whatever. Yeah. As long as you, sort of like in life, if you attack the situation and try and find a solution, and as an umpire, you're going to be wrong. And as an umpire, you're going to be right. So my theory was, if I miss something before replay, and if I know I missed it, and they came out and say, hey, you might have a beef here. Because if they saw that you were willing to admit when you had, made a mistake, then they had to believe you when you knew you hadn't made it. Hey, I saw something you didn't see. It just made things go a lot smoother, And when I was younger, sometimes you get a little full of vinegar as a young guy, and, hey, I'm not going to take that. But I think that bravado and that passion, I always hear passion now when I'm with St. Matthews. He's passionate. I don't like that word. Dude, just be mature, be an adult, go ahead and be a role model for the kids, and let's just teach, use the athletic field as a classroom. So,
Tim, if you were calling, and you were behind the dish for a no-hitter.
Yeah.
And you can sense it. You know what's going on. How do you keep yourself in the mindset of that I'm not allowed to lean into that part of it? Meaning, like, I got to call this exact, because we hear it in all these other games, all they want out of refs and umps are consistency. Yeah. And I always, that old phrase of, you don't want to be the story.
Right.
But I also don't like that sometimes they let stuff go in big moments and they didn't do that earlier. Like, call it the way you call it. If it's a foul,
right.
It's a foul. When you were behind, like when Means is throwing his no-hitter.
Yeah.
Like, and that, how do you get yourself to feel like you're not leaning into this incredible moment that's going on?
Well, I was on borrowed time with that game because I think I'm confident I missed a strike 3 in like the 3rd inning. So, and the guy ended up striking out, but I had missed a strike 3, and I forget who the catcher was. It was a young catcher. He was a good kid. And that actually would have been a perfect game because he had missed he had a drop 3rd strike where a guy reached first. So it would have been, I think there's 23 or 27, 26 perfect games. It would have been the 27. It would have been a perfect game. So, and then I had one earlier, a few years, probably 5 or 7 years earlier in Phoenix. And that guy took it to 8 1/3, took a perfect game to 8 1/3. And it's like anything else. You guys are here. You're better interviewers. You're better commentators. You get it more now than you did your first year or your second year or your 3rd year. Same with the dentist, same with the guy selling cars or insurance, same with the framer and the plumber. You get progressively better. You just hope that your experience level, that you have enough experience doing what you're doing to just focus. Like I always, my big thing is one pitch at a time, both on the baseball field and in life. So just get the next pitch right, because really you're only as good as your last call. I mean, really, that's you can think I'm pretty good. They think I'm pretty good, or they respect me. And I tell you what, you kick one, that whole notion goes away pretty quickly. So
difference for us and you is that we don't have 35,000 yelling at us when we make a bad call. We get people doing that, but they're not. It's not like instant feedback.
Oh, it's pretty instant. Yeah, you guys just don't know about it.
That's right. That's the beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it.
All right. So 821-9710 is our phone number. 821-9710. If you got a question for Tim Timmons, feel free to weigh in. I'll start with this tease. The craziest thing you've experienced in a clubhouse. You'll hear that next. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. When you leave a job, don't leave your 401k. Grow your investment without the fees associated with 401k plans. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Fall is a season of change, and Hinderer Motor Company is turning over a new leaf with big savings. This is Justin Hinderer. Right now, any one of our participating locations is paying up to $3,500 over Kelley Blue Book value. That's right. Drive in your current vehicle and leave with one of ours today. Don't wait. The leaves are falling and so are the prices. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio.
Join T-Bone and Tyvis mornings on The Fan for football, food, and fun, featuring T-Bone.
Now, when you were talking about the football stuff, I was listening, but when you said Waffle House, I leaned forward in my chair.
And national champ Tyvis Powell.
I was staring myself in the mirror for a good 10 minutes today looking at it.
Where they solve all the world's complex problems.
We're not putting the toothpaste back in the toothpaste container.
Sponsored by Capital Ford of Columbus.
Football, food, and fun with T-Bone and Tyvis. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9 on The Fan.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Bring your landscape back to life with an unbeatable deal from Ohio Mulch. 5 bags of premium mulch for just $10. You choose from absolute black, brown, or red to make your flowers pop and your curb appeal shine. Visit ohiomulch.com to find a location near you.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony's hidden talent is weaving a movie quote into every conversation. It's mostly not annoying. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, back at it in studio, having a blast with Tim Timmons, former Major League umpire, 23-year career, 99 to 22, I believe I have that correct. Umpteen postseason games and a lot more. Umpired a World Series in 2018. And so you and I have spent we need to spend a lot more time at the golf course together so I get more stories.
You just want my wallet.
I'll settle for the stories. All right. So you've been a crew chief. You're in a. I've seen you toss. Didn't you toss like an entire
No.
Okay. All right.
I did not run the grounds.
The grounds crew.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
That's
it was like they were behind the tarp or something.
Dude, so I forget her name. The groundskeeper there was a gal. She did a good job, but she did not come and see me that whole series, and I hadn't seen her for 3 days. And all of a sudden, it's like in Baltimore that year, or was it Baltimore? I think Baltimore's first baseman had a shot at Rookie of the Year. I mean, they had a heck of a first baseman. So they're on defense, and it was the Yankees, and Baltimore's up by a run. It's like, top of the 8th or top of the 9th. And all of a sudden, there's like 30 kids. There's, I think, 3 people that are 18 years of age or older. Just run them down the field and get in behind the tarp. And I'm like, all I can see, because the wind's blowing that way, all I can see is, an interference, or the kid who's a superstar with Baltimore is going to get hurt. Something bad, something's going to happen, and none of it's good. So you guys need to move down.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah. So nobody even came in and asked me. Just that I got a call from the office. Did you run the grounds crew? I go, no.
All right. So I tease this as the best story you can tell from in the clubhouse. And so golfing with you and knowing you, and I've heard that you were getting ready for a game with the rest of your crew.
So, all right.
And you take it from there. Was this at Yankee Stadium?
No. The Yankees were in town, and it was the Twins. It was spring training. And when you first walk down the tunnel, you go in the tunnel, and our locker room is right there on the left. And then the next locker room is a visiting locker room. Well, in front of our locker room, there's like, for cleats, they have the rubber padding and all that stuff. And so we're in the locker room, and once again, it's a tiny locker room there. And, we're in there playing cards or something, stretching, just getting ready for the game. It's spring training. And you hear this, this tap, 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 tap. And I go, hey, knock it off. And you hear tap, 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 tap. And we figure one of the players, one of the young players or something, or it's, somebody messing with us. So I take the door and I jerk it open really fast. And all of a sudden there's Cameron Diaz, and she's all googly-eyed, and she sits up and looks at me, and she's sitting, cross-legged while A-Rod's stretching on the floor in front of our locker room. And I go, Cameron, quit banging on the door. And she goes, well, I'm sorry. And A-Rod goes, yeah, don't mess with the umpires, dude. You do not want to upset the umpires, dude.
What did she think was? She was knocking to go.
No, she was just tapping it with her foot or her elbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
She didn't know you guys were in there.
Yeah, so I jerked the door open. Okay. And then I slammed the door, and I hear her go, are they upset? Are they really? I open the door. I go,
horrible game.
Yeah, I open the door and I go, you want a Gatorade? Or she goes, yeah, you gonna need beer?
Very nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Before we get to some calls, we have to get your thoughts on the ABS challenge system from an umpire's perspective. What do you think this is going to do to the game now moving forward?
Well, I tell you what, everybody thinks, well, as an umpire, you've got to hate that. As an umpire, you've got to hate replay. The last thing you want to do is have, before replay, I had a game. I had a game that I won. I got the W. I mean, and it's a terrible feeling. Believe me, the umpire lives with that a lot longer than the team does. I mean, it's a terrible feeling. So, what the umpires are going to send replay is just minuscule. And it's tough to beat the camera at 480 or 620 frames a second. I mean, that's tough to beat. So you're going to send them in replay half an inch. The only issue, everything changes. I think home plate used to be, made of marble, and it was 3/4 of an inch above the ground. That's different now, thank goodness. So everything changes. Replay has been a good thing. I think that there are challenges with the ABS system because there's only a single plane, and they measured these guys by height. When they first proposed it, I sat on the board for the Umpires Union. When they first proposed it, they just wanted one static, this is Major League Baseball. They wanted one static strike zone. Same for Altuve as Aaron Judge. And we were like, that's probably not going to work. And then they were like, well, we'll just take the strike zone. We'll give them an inch on either side. And I'm like, well, there's only one problem with that, and it's the rule book. So right now they've got a plane set at the middle of the strike zone, at the middle of the plate, not the lead edge and not the back point. So that middle section, so you're seeing pitches that are missing by 0.1, 0.2, 0.4, even 0.5. I mean, you talked about different pitchers, like guys who threw a good sinker. The ball would come in, it would be nothing. Once again, I say this because I know from whence I speak, but people are like, there's no way the ball's coming in at 25, 26 degrees, deflection. It's breaking that much where it could hit the front corner and miss the middle corner by that amount. So it's basically, it's seeing it in 2 dimensions, not 3. So that's the only difficulty. I think there are some challenges. I think it will get better. It's going to change the game. It's not going to necessarily kill it.
Well, it may eventually make it better only because it's going to I don't like embarrassing these umpires. They're calling it live. They've got, like you say, it's centimeters, inches. But the overturn rate is going to essentially create a scorecard among umpires. Yeah. And the guys that have the worst ones are going to maybe get weeded out a little bit. So it might eventually.
Well, I think that the one thing that it's doing, I have talked to a couple of people because I'm curious about it more than anything else. The walk rate, I think, is higher than it has been since 1958. I mean, which tells you, and, the anecdotal stuff from spring training, the pitchers aren't real pleased, especially guys that have breaking stuff. So, I think there'll be some adjustments. And I think up and down over time, as you move through the season, the umpires will go ahead and they'll tighten. They'll be able to figure out because some guys may squat a little bit more than other guys. Yeah. So,
we got a couple minutes. Let's spin through a couple of these fast. TLC, who's waiting now? Talk to Tim Timmons.
Let's start with Todd in Westerville.
Whoa. Todd, go ahead. You got Tim Timmons.
Hey, Timmy, this is your cousin. Have you ever seen a piece of pizza thrown onto the field?
Oh, my gosh, Pizzagate. Aren't you supposed to be driving a truck or something? I mean...
Don't tell.
Okay.
Tell them about Pizzagate. You may as well.
Pizzagate.
It's in Fenway, right?
Yeah, oh, my gosh. Was it Fenway? No, it was the Cubs.
Okay,
it was the Cubs.
All right.
Yeah. Yes, I thought the guy was throwing the pizza at me.
Too.
They threw pizza at the guy who reached out over the phone. And next thing I know, I mean, it was Pizzagate. In the old, not other Pizzagate, but yeah, the guy threw a piece of pizza. Yeah, I've seen a piece of pizza thrown on the field or at another fan in Wrigley.
Let's see if you have any more relatives on the line.
Oh, my
who
gosh.
You got? Kevin in London. Any cousins in London?
All right,
Ohio?
Kevin in London. You're on with Tim Timmons, former MLB umpire.
I'm not related to Tim, unfortunately. I do want to ask him about Armando Galarraga and his blown perfect game or near perfect game. I know Jim Joyce was tearful about it.
Yeah.
As a Tribe fan, I loved it. As a person, you know, that was history, and I watched it live on TV, and it broke my heart for him.
Yeah, I tell you what. Go ahead.
Do you see MLB ever going back and just making a one-time exclusion? We saw it. We all know what it should be, and we're going to make an exception this one time.
Yeah, I don't think that'll. That's not Major League Baseball's. You know, going back and amending stuff is not Major League Baseball's. You know, mission, or they just don't get into that stuff because I think that would be a huge can of worms. But you know, Jim Joyce is such a genuinely nice man, and just a great official. You know, he's retired several years before I did, but I mean, it couldn't have happened to a worse guy because he was so well respected and such a great umpire, but it couldn't have happened to a better guy because of that, you know, respect that he had, and he handled it great. You know, I think that, you know, he was emotional about it, which is fine. Everybody has their own approach to that, but you know, I know he was torn up. I talked to him about it like that evening, so it's like, yeah, geez, it just happens.
The 28 out perfect game. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. It's a good question. Do we have like 30 seconds? You want to spin the last one, TLC, or are they still on?
Yeah, let's go to John in Columbus.
All right, John. Last raps, bud, with Tim Timmons.
I'm so old that Tim probably threw me out in Pony League in '85 at Whetstone.
Oh my gosh, I might have.
Yeah, because I remember because I played against you and then you started umping. Because I went to Whetstone, you went to Waterson. So yeah, you probably threw me out in Pony League. But yeah, he's been doing it for a long time. He's a good guy.
Well, dude, don't believe everything that you hear on the radio from people calling in. I mean, like I said, I just below the radar. So I appreciate it. Good to hear from you.
I should have had you ump some of our co-ed softball games, TV station. I should have brought in Tim Timmons.
No.
Channel 6 versus Channel 4. Here we go. All right. So we could have done hours. We will have you back.
Okay.
But I got to tell you, Tim, this was a pleasure, man. You took an afternoon for us. You got away from gardening or whatever, or golfing, and
Dude,
we appreciate it.
The garden is huge. I'm very excited about the garden.
Matty, he used to use his thumb to toss managers. Now he's got the green thumb.
I got the green thumb. Well, I told you I have no juice at home anymore.
That's right.
I'm just I'm a roster guy now.
Hey, Tim, do as you're told.
Hey, that's exactly right.
95.
Before we go, can we get a strike three? Like, what was your strike three call? Can we get that right now?
I mean, it's very loud. I wouldn't want to.
You can back up just a little bit. What was there we go.
There you go.
There we go.
I used to. Who was that? Frazier. Frazier used to always say to me, he'd be in the dugout, and I'd call the first strike. I'd go, "Stee high," and he'd go, "Stee high." He's a little goofy.
It's a good one, Timmy. Tim Timmons, former Major League umpire, one of our own, right here in Columbus, Ohio. What a career, man. We'll see you on the golf course, Tim. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we're coming back with the Buckeye Bulletin. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Always still look at myself as a high-performing athlete, even at 40 years old. And so I want to go able to run fast and do things that I could 15 and 20 years ago. And it was getting to the point where the pain was starting to limit that.
Pain attacks people from all walks of life, not just former professional athletes like Bobby Carpenter. That's where QC Kinetics non-surgical treatment steps in.
And now that the pain is gone, I've been able to go and do the stuff that I love and run fast and run sprints and try to get back to where I was.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's own healing properties to deliver long-term relief without surgery.
Now, being able to go and work out and do the stuff that I want to do and challenge my body, it's made me a better person, a more pleasant person to be around.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine. Give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good days. Give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY. And when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
This is Gordon Miller for Miller Lending, the original home of the no-cost mortgage. If you've been in the market for a new home or just wanted to take advantage of lower rates, recent events have shown exactly why Miller Lending chose to offer a way around bad timing with our no closing cost program. With no fees rolled in or charged, including the cost of title insurance, you can simply close on today's rates and refinance free of charge as rates improve. Over the past several months, we spoke to numerous borrowers who had heard rates were coming down and chose to wait. We explained that if rates did fall, you could simply update a few documents and refinance again, but why take the chance? So when rates spiked 0.5% recently, not only was I disappointed that we couldn't help those who waited, but also for those buying a home who just saw a sharp increase to their monthly payment. So while we can't control the market, we can offer an alternative. Eliminate timing and say goodbye to closing costs forever. 877-9-NO-COST or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
Catch Ohio State baseball all season long on The Fan 2. You can find the magical land of The Fan 2 by tuning into 1460 on your AM dial or clicking on The Fan's HD2 feed. Tyler Danberg thanks you. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Save up to 50% on new windows from windownation.com.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. Listen, it's going to be Ohio State football before you know it, and a lot of the storyline will certainly go to replacing the defensive guys they lost in the draft, but the other the other thing that's going to be talked about is the upward mobility of Julian Sayin, no pun intended. Like there's going to be adding to his repertoire will be very interesting. He was on the Triple Option podcast with Urban and the fellas, and he did relive the end of the season. And the end of the season, certainly the offense sputtered against Indiana, but Indiana went on to win it all. And Miami, probably two of the better defenses in the country he faced at the end of the year. And I think after they beat Michigan and they finally got back to the Big Ten title game, it was almost like, all right, here we go. They're going to get a bye. There's very little consequence by losing the Big Ten title. But I'm wondering if that exposed a little something with the offensive line and then his processing because of that. because everything leads to another thing, right? Quarterbacks that have protection, as good as he is, that's a death blow to teams. And when other teams could find a way to maybe rattle him or get him off his spot, it did affect things, certainly. Yeah. And here he is talking about that Big Ten title game.
I think they were really well coached. They were really disciplined in their zone drops. They were, getting to the right spots. There wasn't a lot of, tons of open zones, even, when they're bringing sim pressure. So they're able to eat up the back and then, really get 7 guys out in coverage in zones and really make it tough as the quarterback to, find those zones.
That was a softer version of what Ty Simpson said about Indiana, right? I was
going to say, is the DC for Indiana going to come after Julian now, too?
No. I think that Brian Haynes. No, yeah. Because remember what Ty Simpson said, their defense was simple. Now, he also said they were well coached, and maybe that is the ultimate compliment, is that you could be simple and still win. You didn't have to come up with exotic stuff.
Yeah.
The guys were winning at the point of attack or they were on assignment. And so he described that game similarly as what Simpson experienced.
I have to imagine, AR, that was one of a few times in Julian Sayin's football life to this point to where he felt like, hey, this is some deep waters that maybe I'm not used to swimming in all the time. And that happens to young players, young teams all the time. And then usually what happens is when you have the skill set and you have the will to want to be better, you come out on the other side as a better player. And that's what I expect from Julian Sayin, because like you're alluding to, if they can give him the time to do what he needs to do as a quarterback, more times than not, he's going to execute. He's also the style of quarterback that absolutely needs consistent play up front. He is not your Josh Allen, Kyler Murray. He's not your JT Barrett run around and make a lot of things happen. He doesn't need to be that. If he brings some of that to the table, that's going to be great. And I know they're pushing him to do that, but that's what he needs as a pure pocket passer. And an elite one is for those guys to give him time. And when there is a little bit of pressure, you got to take your game to the next level with either extending plays or moving around the pocket and extending plays as well.
All right, TLC, let's hear the one about, let's move forward. Let's talk about this team this year and what it's been like to now have to work with Arthur Smith.
He's been great so far. It's been fun. It's been fun. We got some new receivers. We got, the new OC. It's been good to kind of learn each other and, just kind of learn this new system and learn how we're going to be this year. So it's been a lot of fun connecting with these guys, and then obviously having guys returning too. It's been great. The off the line returning. Having Jeremiah, Brandon outside. So it's good.
Wouldn't expect too much different from that. He's encouraged, and why wouldn't he be? Experience should help them. But I think it is going to be the number one question mark again, because we know they have depth there. But depth, as you've heard me say many times, depth and talent are two different things. We know they're talented. They play at Ohio State. Mm-hmm. It's just as a collective unit, how talented can they be?
Yeah. Do you have good depth, right? Like you can throw that word around all you want, but is it just names on a sheet, right? That's filling out a depth chart, or is there actually
here?
Are there actually?
We have probably the most depth of any sports radio station in the country.
You did let us know the fan's a mess.
No.
Those were your words.
Those were my words quoting something else. Oh, what a mess the fan is. Exactly. When you hear the voice, you know. Here's the big one.
Yeah.
Anybody try to lure him away from Scarlet and Gray?
I think everybody knew I was coming back to school. coming back to
Yeah, but there wasn't nobody like, hey, Julian, we need you and we got to have you. And we want you.
They weren't calling me personally. So maybe they were calling other people, but they weren't calling me personally. So, everybody knew I was a Buckeye.
Were they calling his agent?
Maybe.
His representatives?
Maybe. And if you're
his camp,
you want to know that if you're Julian, though, right? You don't. I
don't know.
If you find out that your agent didn't tell you, how does that work?
I think you're probably right.
You can't be like, look, I don't think he would want to go anywhere, but if it were my agent, I would want to know at least.
Well, Maddie, a lot of people have called me about you, and I have not told you because I didn't want you to leave. I'm sorry to break that.
I don't know how I would take that.
If that
were true, I don't know how I would take that.
How would you take that?
If you knew that somebody from
if somebody contacted me and said, "Hey, I was listening to your show. Who's your co-host? Because we have an opening here." And they said to me, and we know you're not going anywhere. So
what market is this?
As a hypothetical, is this a Tim Timmons hypothetical?
This is a Tim
I'll
Timmons.
tell you the story, but not the station.
Oh, the Cameron Diaz story was amazing. But AR, if I found out that it were a certain city that's near and dear to my heart, and that program director said, "Hey,
you mean it's like a magic city?"
Maybe that city.
Okay.
maybe that's. And I found out that you talked to their boss or whoever the bosses are down there, and they said, "Hey, we want
not available."
And you just told them what?
I would never do that.
But if you did,
if you did, that would be cause for the end of a beautiful friendship. And
because on one hand, I would be honored that you would be like, "Hey,
I would never limit opportunities for anyone." That doesn't make any sense.
It'd be a bittersweet thing for me, for sure. Because I'd be like, "Hey, AR loves me that much that he doesn't want me to go anywhere
from you."
But he's also at the same time potentially slowing down my career.
Slowing down your career is a nice way of saying really sticking it to me, preventing an incredible opportunity to better myself, maybe make more money, and move up the ladder. Thanks a lot. All right. We're coming back top of the hour, and we'll get into our deep dive. Speaking of college football, all right, so this talk of an expanded playoff is going to keep coming, but somebody wants to squash it now. Will it matter? You'll hear it next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a data analyst.
Hey, what model did you use for these quarterly projections?
Astrology. If Mercury's in retrograde, sales tank. If Venus is rising, we crush Q4.
You built our revenue forecast off horoscopes?
Yeah, the Zodiac never lies.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast Gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for like so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Sun, splashes, and non-stop fun await at Zoombezi Bay.
Get your season pass for unlimited thrills,
including our all-new conservation tower. Buy now at ZoombeziBay.com.
Grilling season is here, and nobody does it better than Billiards Plus. Fire up your backyard with top-of-the-line grills from the biggest names in outdoor cooking, perfect for game day or any day. And when the party heads inside, Billiards Plus has you covered with pool tables, shuffleboard, game tables, and more. Everything you need to build the ultimate hangout, from backyard cookouts to game room showdowns. Make your home the MVP. Billiards Plus, grills, games, and good times. Family owned and operated. Check them out online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Some choose the fast way, others the easy way, but you do things the right way, like Exmark Mowers and Boss Brothers Power Equipment. Exmark builds the world's finest zero-turn mowers, providing a legendary quality of cut, dependability, along with an experience that makes mowing feel like anything but work. Because if it's worth doing right. Stop by one of Boss Brothers' 3 convenient locations in Powell, Sunbury, or Marysville and discover the Exmark mower that will give your lawn the cut it deserves. Boss Brothers Power Equipment, delivering enjoyment in mowing since 1989.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, the new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint, ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly, like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
May the savings be with you at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, lease a new 26 Elantra SE for $59 per month for 2 years. Just $59 a month for the May Mega Sale. This month only. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glexhyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus tax, title, first month payment, 7,500 miles per year, and 6-1.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Get up to $750 cash back when you refinance your auto loan with Telahio Credit Union. Visit telahio.org to learn more.
Offer valid until June 30th, subject to credit approval. Restrictions apply. Telahio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
You can save big on select varieties of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Gatorade, and more. Select packs are buy 3, get 3 free with your card. Limit 12. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The Columbus Clippers in Iowa facing the Cubs right now. After 2.5, the Clippers led 1-0. Here in about 10 minutes out in Kansas City, the Cleveland Guardians wrapping up their series with the Royals. In about 20 minutes at Wrigley Field, the Cincinnati Reds look to avoid the sweep to the Cubs. You can hear that over on the Fan 2. NBA playoffs tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers playing Game 2 of their series with the Pistons up in Detroit. Tip is set for 7. At 9:30, the Oklahoma City Thunder hosting the Los Angeles Lakers. One game in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight as the Philadelphia Flyers host the Carolina Hurricanes at 8. For the second year in a row, Zach Werenski has been named one of 3 finalists for the Norris Trophy. That's given to the league's best defenseman. This one's sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling, together to serve you better. Scheduled today at thewaterworks.com.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com.
All right, final hour, Rothman and Ice. Happy to have you along. Gold Jacket Thursday coming up bottom of the hour. Jerry Kramer. Jerry Kramer was the right guard on the Green Bay Packers title teams, Super Bowl 1 and 2. Played in the famous Ice Bowl. I don't care how old you are, you've probably heard that term, or how young you are. You've probably heard that phrase uttered, the 67 Ice Bowl at Lambeau against the Cowboys. They're on like the 1-yard line. There's 16 seconds left. And Bart Starr comes over to Lombardi, and they're going to hand it off, because that would make sense, to Chuck Mersine, I think was the fullback or the running back. And the story goes that Starr said to Lombardi, the field's an ice rink. We can't get any traction. And if a guy's in a 3-point, we're bringing too much of a problem in. I'm already upright. Let me sneak it. And I think Lombardi either didn't want to, and then Starr did it anyway, or he changed the play in the huddle. And I'm going to have to ask Jerry. We got to get this cleared up.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to ask him about how the heck did you guys stay warm back then? How? Because now
they were different.
built different.
Yeah.
They absolutely were, because now, Aaron,
And it was an outdoor game, man.
I mean, they've got these XXX jackets on, massive heaters on the sideline, probably hand warmers all over the place. Obviously, back then they didn't have that, but what were their options? Because they had to have some type of game plan, don't you think? Well, so I'm going to ask them about that. We'll see if there's anything interesting that comes from it.
The only thing I can tell you, and this is much as my thought, is that at least you knew the games would probably go faster.
Okay.
Because of all the running. And just, I don't know what all the rules are, but I would think, although back then I assume if you ran out of bounds, the clock stopped like it did when I was a kid. And then now they've changed it to the different parts of the game where the clock runs. But, yeah.
If you could bring back one old school thing from football, what would it be? Hard hitting, no gloves.
You already know what it is, I bet.
The no gloves thing?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you still outlaw stick 'em. I don't, that had no.
You
place
can't have. We can't bring that back.
No, you can't. You can't bring
because that was ridiculous.
Litnikoff,
So,
Lester
what is
Hayes,
going on?
Yeah, there's just glue all over them. So. That was the. I would. By the way,
okay, so you would eliminate.
One of those guys should have invented Velcro. Like I would think that, where that would have been.
Exactly.
Wait a minute, I can put something here that'll stick. Yeah. All right.
So no
we'll
gloves.
We'll have Jerry Kramer on at 2:30. All right, so this is going to be an ongoing thing, and money wins the day. And we've talked about how college football has actually survived, and maybe you could say even thrived, the first iteration of the expanded playoff, to go from a BCS to 4 and now to 12.
Yeah,
I think it's survived, and I think it's been pretty good. I'm not saying every game's great. They haven't been. We can poke holes in that, but we're so close to it here at Ohio State. We now have two pretty big examples of Ohio State having to go run the whole gauntlet and then to come back and have actually the same amount of time off, but a bye and it not go their way. And so here we are. You and I have been big proponents of that the regular season in college football is probably the best tradition going.
It's awesome.
You got 12 games and it matters. Yeah. We've softened on, we know you can lose a couple now and get in. And maybe that's okay. Like maybe perfection is harder to protect. And I said this to you when Indiana went undefeated because they were the only undefeated. And Oregon was undefeated when Ohio State beat them. And there's something about going into that playoff with a goose egg on the right that feels like there's more pressure, that you've never had to bounce back from a loss. You don't know what it feels like. Now, on the reverse side, you feel destined. We haven't lost a game. We've always found a way to win, even in a close one. So you feel like you have found something, kind of like the 0-2 Buckeyes, like they just felt destined. They could pull a rabbit out of the hat at any point, and that's the interesting part about it. But there's so let's set this up. This is so the American Football Coaches Association Board of Trustees are expected to release a decision to support a 24-team playoff. Now, they would eliminate the conference title games. And the most discussed 24-teamer includes an at-large bracket. Now, that would be determined by the committee and the CFP rankings. You get an automatic berth for the group of 6 leagues and the first-round campus games, which we like, for seeds, now hear me correctly, 9 through 24. So you're kind of just adding, it's kind of like the play-in expansion for the tournament in basketball. But I don't care about the regular season as much in basketball. There are twice as many games, and the tournament's bigger. More people get in anyway, and I'm kind of used to it. It's all about March. And if they turn themselves into that, where it's all about, January and February, then we may be headed for a real dilution of this sport. This is
Kevin Clark from ESPN. I believe he was talking to Paul Feinbaum on his show, and here are his thoughts on
good take.
Possibly going to 24.
College football should be run by people who like college football. And every decision, every idea I've seen, Paul, about playoff expansion seems like it's come from people who don't like college football, don't know why we like it, and it's really starting to tick me off. A 24-team playoff would be a disgrace. And I think that even now, frankly, I think 12 is too big. I thought 6 was the perfect playoff size if you wanted to stop there. But we know that they can't help themselves. I get that. So 12, and then if you have to in a decade, go to 16. Fine. But the idea of 24, the idea I've seen floated of 32, I just think it's ludicrous. And it devalues the regular season. And at some point, if you start making decisions that are not for the best interest of the sport and for the interests of either TV networks or ADs who want to bail themselves out from bad decisions that they themselves have made, then college football fans are in for a really, really rough decade.
Couldn't agree with him more. I couldn't agree with him more. We've seen this. We're going to continue to see this. Heck, we're seeing it in other sports as well. The expansion and making everything bigger and the eyes and minds of these decision makers, TV networks, ADs, presidents, owners, whoever it may be, is that when it's bigger, we can all make more money off of it. And that's the unfortunate part of all this. And devaluing the road to what is supposed to be your most important time of the year, and that will remain. But the devaluing of that, to me, AR, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. And now we're going to be debating, which we do now, about teams that, in my mind, probably won't be deserving of being in that dance. And that's what I don't like about where this is headed. College football wants to mirror what college basketball is. They'll never go to that many teams because you can't do that. That would make no sense at all. But they're trying to get as close to they can as far as the vibe and the interest of March Madness. They don't need to do that because we all love football anyway. So we can debate all day about 12, 24, 16, 6, 8, whatever it is. It's not going to really matter because they're going this direction and they're not going to stop anytime soon. And I just have always loved what feels to me like there's a lot on the line this specific Saturday between these two teams. And I'm going to really like, even this year, hey, the Ohio State-Texas game. All these games that we're talking about with this gauntlet of a schedule for Ohio State, if this were a 24-team schedule, I wouldn't be, or 24-team bracket on the horizon this year, I wouldn't be as excited for those games because I know that it doesn't mean as much as it should.
All right, so two things there. One, I'm with you on that you want it to mean a lot. I think it still does. It doesn't mean as much as it used to years ago. But I also think they have found a middle ground that I'm okay with. Because what I don't like, or what I really truly didn't like, is that a game in week 2 is a KO game. It's a knockout game in the old format. Mm-hmm. You lose it, you're done, most likely. Especially in BCS era. Like, you're in trouble. Now, unless you lose a real close one and you're on the road, and then you got a chance. But so you got to find a middle ground between that teams don't have to go perfect to compete for a title, to be a contender for a title. But you also don't want it to be, well, we were just bad timing. We got the road game this year instead of the home.
Let me ask you this, AR. Is the middle ground or part of the middle ground now rewarding losses? Because I think that's what we are kind of doing and what we will do even more if we go to 24.
I don't know if you're rewarding losses, but you're level-headed enough to think that strength of schedule is a big part of this.
It matters, but I think for me, that's what we're kind of turning into for just a few teams. This isn't obviously one through, all the way down for every team that we're talking about. But there are the back half, not even back half, 3 to 4 teams that we discussed that have 2-3 losses. And we're trying to find ways to get them in because of their, quote, good losses. And that, to me, is going to be times 2 when we go to where this is probably going to go. And I don't love it. I don't.
Well, you shouldn't love it. And when we come back, I'll give you some analytics to back that up. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. There's a lot of window companies out there. If you need window replacement, I want you to go with my guys, the guys that I trust, Universal Windows Direct, because right now when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free. And there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus, 24 months with no payments and no
no interest, and a $500 bonus off your home improvement project. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. Call 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Welcome to the Ohio Lottery's Made from Scratch show. Today, I'm sharing how you can make dough from scratch. We're adding a dash of fun and a sprinkle of luck. Now, let's get cooking and see what we've got. And voila! A fresh batch of Ohio Lottery $5 scratch-offs. Nice.
Play Aces and Eights with over $20 million in cash prizes and a top prize of $150,000. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
Join T-Bone and Tyvis mornings on the Fan for Football, Food and Fun, featuring T-Bone.
Now, when you were talking about the football stuff, I was listening, but when you said Waffle House, I leaned forward in my chair.
And national champ Tyvis Powell.
I was staring myself in the mirror for a good 10 minutes today looking at it.
Where they solve all the world's complex problems.
We're not putting the toothpaste back in the toothpaste container.
Sponsored by Capital Ford of Columbus.
Football, Food and Fun with T-Bone and Tyvis. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9 on The Fan.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters, while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org.
Hey there, I'm Brad. I'm about to win the Tuesday Night Bowling League Championship. I'm also a highway worker for the Ohio Department of Transportation. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can bowl the winning strike with my buddies.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
I have a special announcement. Common Man and Timmy is the most listened to radio show in the state of Ohio. Coming in at number 2, Common Sense. You should listen anyway.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly increasing clouds throughout the day today as temperatures struggle to get into the mid to upper 50s to low 60s with gusty winds. For tonight, increasing clouds overnight with our lows in the 40s. And then for Friday, we do have a chance of showers on and off throughout the day. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and warmer with highs in the mid to upper 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Free Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
We are the outlier here in Columbus, Ohio, because every game does matter. Now, I'm not saying it matters that you get 100,000 packed in every game, So that's a little different. And you've heard people say, I can't give my tickets away for this game. But there are only so many games that can truly mean everything. And Ohio State's got a few of those this year and more. And I agree with Maddie. What we want are the biggest games all the time. Now, that's not realistic. It's just not. Plus, you wouldn't want it that way anyway, especially if you were a coach or a player. So you can't have the highest stakes for every game.
Got to have a ramp up or two in there.
A Ball State ramp up.
Absolutely.
And so if the magic only happens when we have massive games, we get that. But if you expand this thing to 24, then I do believe at that point, and you eliminate the conference championship games, you have now made the strategy that everything builds towards the playoff. The NFL doesn't feel that way. Every week matters in the NFL. Yeah. And they've gone to 17, and they may go to 18. Like, college football actually has them beat in that they play less games. Mm-hmm. Now, the difference is the NFL is parity every week. You don't have that in college football. So the wash is more games that you never know who's going to win. And the other one is less games, and the ones that really mean something mean a ton.
This won't have any major impact, in my opinion, on a program like Ohio State, a program like Bama, a program, like in Oregon, because more times than not, they're going to be in the dance. This is going to open up opportunities for some of those teams that are in the heavyweight conferences, in my opinion, so the SEC and the Big Ten. I think we're only going to see more of those teams in the tournament because those conferences right now get the benefit of the doubt, and they should. I still don't believe, AR, this is going to open up pathways for, quote, Cinderellas to really do much of anything. That gets the people going. That gets people excited, which I understand. But I still don't believe that we're going to be living in a world to where we're going to be talking about teams that we aren't already talking about making it to a semifinal, making it to a natty, let alone winning the natty.
What about knocking out a big boy? Like, here, I'll give you the analytics.
Have we had it?
No. Here are the numbers. So even at 12 teams, we've lost a lot. I'm not saying people aren't watching, but the fact that 11 and 12 seeds in this are 0-4 right now in this new expansion. Mm-hmm. And they've lost by 14, 17, 28, and 31.
I love that you brought that up.
Look at the Big Ten championship. You heard me talk about this a long time. 2 undefeated football teams.
Yeah.
And Indiana beats Ohio State. Now, was it improbable? No. It was supposed to be a good game. That was a big deal. Ohio State hadn't been in a while. They wanted to win. You show up, you want to win. They played a good team. And nothing was on the line other than that. Technically, seeding was, which may have mattered, but we really didn't know how the bracket was going to unfold anyway. But you had 2 undefeated teams, and Indiana wins that game, and it's their first Big Ten championship since the late 60s, 67, I think. And while it may have been a big deal to them, once they beat Ohio State, they knew they had what it took to maybe win it all. And so that wasn't that big of a deal. We talked about that game having really 0 consequences. You know where we talked about it? In an individual award.
Yep.
Whoever wins this probably wins the Heisman, which I think also is stupid because it's a team game. And just because that team won doesn't mean that quarterback played better than the other guy. So I never really liked that thing. But I'll get back to my main point, which is it should have felt bigger, and it didn't. And that's what we have to get used to.
Yeah, it's an awesome point, AR. With the elimination of conference championship games in this world, right, this 24-team playoff world, that's going to eliminate to a certain degree the James Madisons of the world, the Tulanes of the world, 2 teams that got invited to this party this year because of what they did in conference and doing all that stuff. We saw how that worked out in round 1. Like you just talked about how some of those games went. 51-34. Oregon took out James Madison. 41-10. Ole Miss clips Tulane. I do like, AR, that maybe we can push to the side some of those teams, but even then, if we get rid of Tulane and James Madison, who are we inviting to the party from these other Power 4 conferences? Are there going to be enough teams that we look at and say, we feel like, and look, my opinion is not going to matter, but are we going to be at a place to where we feel good about the other teams that are now invited to the dance? And I don't think we're going to.
You'll feel good. Well, you won't. But what'll help it is there'll probably be a big branded team. It'll be a 5-loss Tennessee team. Or it'll be I can't believe I just said 4 losses probably.
But that's what we're going to be debating.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah, it'd be like a 4-loss Tennessee team or a 4-loss TCU team, a team that's had some history. Louisville.
I'm sorry.
USC gets in.
I'm sorry. You can't get into the club. You know, you go to the club there and there's a security guy out there with the list. You're not on this list. You can't get in the club. Those teams, to me.
Well, then you grease them. Then you give them, $100,
$100 handshake to the security guard.
That's right.
I may have done that a couple times.
100?
Not 100. Not
okay,
100. But we used to go to.
Did they know Mr. Jackson? Andrew?
We used to go to a bar.
Okay.
And there was the line was always long, and, we tried to get there fashionably late when it was already popping. And we knew one of the security guards there. So what I did was, you know what? Hey, here's a little 50 piece. Next time you see me and my guys,
okay,
get us on up there to the front of the line. AR, hit him with a 50 piece. Next time, front of the line. Then about a month or two down the road,
he got fired.
No, he was still there.
Okay.
Here's another 50 piece. And it always works. Always works.
So you're saying
cut the line every single time.
50 bought you a fast pass.
Correct.
Every weekend?
Every weekend. And I did that about, every few months.
How did the other people that were in line feel about that? Or do they not have a voice?
I didn't hear those voices. I did not care.
It's just that simple.
It was.
All right.
It was.
Okay.
So some teams, I'm sorry, you just can't get in the club.
But they're going to get in at 24. You got to complete the field. Back in 06 when Ohio State played Michigan for a shot at the title, both teams were 11-0, number 1 versus number 2. Ohio State wins 42-39. And we call it the game of the century. And I wonder if those games are gone.
Poof, David Copperfield.
The game of the century. It's massive.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have a consequence.
No.
Because both get in.
Yep.
Loser gets in. Loser gets another bite.
A little bit of this isn't a great comp, but you know how we feel about watching preseason football? To where we know what we're really watching doesn't really matter.
Let me ask you this.
Some of those games are going to be that way in college football. This doesn't really matter.
I don't remember their exact schedule, but when Michigan was upset by Appalachian State, they go on and have a fine season and they get in. And then they right that wrong. But not back then. Like, that's something maybe you can't overcome.
Did they have enough wins after that to where we would look at what was that?
7.
They lost to Oregon the very next week. So they went from number 5. I think they were still ranked 0-1 and then lost to Oregon.
They got bodied by Oregon.
Yeah. If you need a recent example, look no further than right back here.
Yeah, that may be a bad example because
Illinois.
They probably don't get in.
Michigan that year with the back-to-back.
Would they have? My question is, do they get in a 24-teamer with a?
Notre Dame made it losing to Northern Illinois in a 12-teamer.
I know, but the Michigan went on to lose.
They lost
at 4. Camp Randall, and they lost to Ohio State in a ugly game. They pounded Notre Dame. They beat Penn State, who was ranked 10th,
but they only beat them 14-9.
And
they really didn't pick up any other.
They beat number 10. They beat number 24 on the road. They beat top 20. Believe it or not, Minnesota was top 20. They blasted them. So they actually had 3 ranked wins, and they played Ohio State fairly tough but lost. That's probably a bad example, the one I just brought up about App State. I didn't know their record was this bad that year. I thought maybe they just slipped up once or twice, but in a 24-teamer, I wonder if that brand wins out. Like, all right, we can get you in. Like, we'll find.
And then when we're
at 25,
you use the word brand. That's not football stuff.
Yeah.
It's not. That's
of course it's not.
Dollar signs and ratings stuff.
I think that 3 ranked wins actually would have gotten them.
Yeah. with 4 losses.
Yeah.
Which is nasty.
But they'd have 3 ranked wins.
And one of your losses is to App State, who you said didn't go on to do much of anything on their side.
That was at the beginning of the year. We're a different team now.
They're not fooling me.
We come back. Gold Jacket Thursday.
Well, we can't get fooled again.
Jerry Kramer, Ice Bowl. We'll relive it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Are you ready to move? With CME Federal Credit Union, you can start your home buying journey. Open an Ohio Homebuyer Plus account and earn 6.5% APY for up to 5 years. Ready to buy? Lock in a 5/1 ARM mortgage at just 5% APR. Whether your first home or next chapter, CME is here for the journey every step of the way. Learn more at cmefcu.org.
APY means annual percentage yield. APR means annual percentage rate. Terms apply. Membership eligibility and approval required. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit cmefcu.org for additional details.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2026 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10TV and The Fan to relaunch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes going above and beyond. We are calling on you to help us recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in your community to be recognized on 10TV and The Fan. Send in your nominations and stories to 10tv.com/raise the roof. 10tv.com/raise the roof. Nominate a local hero today and help us raise the roof for those who make a difference.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is, how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
All right, it's a Gold Jacket Thursday. He was drafted by the Packers, 39th player overall in the 1958 NFL Draft. Played most of his 11-season career under the direction of Hall of Fame coach Vince Lombardi. All NFL 5 times, voted to 3 Pro Bowls, 3 NFL titles, won both Super Bowl 1 and 2. And when they picked the 50th year anniversary team of the entire league, this man was the guard. He's back in football heaven this weekend, class of 2018, enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Jerry Kramer, welcome back to Ohio, Jerry.
Thank you. Pleasure being here.
Thank you. All right, let's not bury the lead. You waited 50 years after retirement, 10 previous times as a finalist without being selected. You finally get the game's greatest honor. Were you convinced either way that it was or wasn't going to happen?
Well, I was just about to give up. I had been nominated like 11, 12, 13 times, something like that. And that many defeats, a normal person would quit and go home and have a beer and cry. And I wasn't a normal person. I kept pounding at it and working at it and trying to get better. And I was rewarded for it. And it was a wonderful event and a wonderful experience to be in the Hall of Fame. It's something that every child secretly dreams of, and very few ever get there. Obviously, we know that. So it's a wonderful ride, and it's wonderful. This is another trip down memory lane. This today and yesterday and tomorrow, and we're digging into the archives and my my career at Jordan High School, which was a town of 700, and Idaho, northern Idaho, was not that many more people, but it was a wonderful venue and a wonderful place to be. And And if you want to bad enough, you can.
Yes, we'll get to that. I think it's probably the best quote I've ever heard, and we'll do that in a few minutes. I do want to, so many things to get to, but I want to start with the game, the 67 Ice Bowl for the title versus Dallas. Considered one of the greatest games in NFL history. Kickoff was what, -13 or even worse. You guys are down 3 points at the goal line. Lombardi goes for the win in the final, 16 seconds. All right, you have to clear something up for me. Did Lombardi call for a handoff to Chuck Mercine, and did Bart Starr actually change the play to a sneak in the huddle? Did that happen? And how many people knew about it?
One.
You?
No, I remember that day vividly. It was 30 below, 13 below, somewhere in there. And just before the play, we had a huddle on the sidelines. And Coach Lombardi looked me in the eye and he said, "Can you block that tackle?" And I said, "I'll have to block that tackle with you on my neck." And so I did. The defensive tackle was in the film going up to the ball game. I determined that he was rising at the line of scrimmage. He was coming up instead of forward. And Bart looked at me and he said, "Can you make that block on the 31 wedge?" And I said, "Run it." And so I got into the guy and moved him back and looked up, and Bart was tumbling into the end zone. And we were now ahead with a few seconds left to go, and it was a highlight film for me. It was just a wonderful moment, and we succeeded. We had a lot of failures and a lot of missed events and missed blocks, but on that day we got it done, and it was wonderful. Coach Lombardi talked to me afterwards in the interview, and his coach from West Point called into the locker room, and he got in on the celebration. And so it was just a wonderful moment and a trying moment, but I met the challenge and overcame the player, and so it was a success for me, and it's long-term, long time, great moment, great time.
Jerry, what do you remember about the options you guys had as players to try and stay warm in a game like that? Because you watch the games today and players have the huge coats and the heaters on the sidelines and all of that. But what do you remember about the preparation for you guys to try to stay warm during the Ice Bowl?
Brown cotton gloves. They were 1/10 of an ounce thick. And it was like it was 13 below zero, maybe as high as 30 below zero, and you weren't going to keep warm no matter what you did. So the mind being occupied with Jethro Pugh was a good thing. It took my mind off the weather. I guess I saw something recently that mentioned that the Ice Bowl was the coldest game ever in NFL history. And I got a little burn from the ice and the moment and the lung congestion and whatnot, but we won and we celebrated, and it was a wonderful day.
We're speaking with Jerry Kramer, Hall of Fame guard, Green Bay Packers, class of 2018, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. He's there this weekend, back in football heaven. Jerry, what is your favorite Lombardi wisdom that has stayed with you your entire life?
Coach Lombardi made you a believer. I remember very vividly he was. We didn't know who he was. He had been there for 2 days or 3 days, and he started taking discipline measures and chewing people out and doing all kinds of things that we hadn't had happen. For instance, Coach Lombardi, I missed a block. I was going downfield and I totally missed the block. And he come running across the field. He was 50 yards away, and he was screaming at the top of his voice every yard. And so he gets next to me and he says, "Mister, a concentration period of a college student's 5 minutes, high school is 3 minutes, kindergarten is 30 seconds, and you don't have that. So where's that put you?" So put me checking my shoe shine, right? So I had my head down and went up to the locker room. They dismissed the offensive lineman a little early and stayed out to work on pass patterns. So I'm up in the locker room checking the carpet. I'd been studying it for about a half hour, wondering where I was going to land and if I was ever going to make the guy happy and if I was going to be a Green Bay Packer tomorrow. So I've been in the locker room 35, 45 minutes checking the carpet, and he walks in the far door, and he comes down to where I am in the locker room and comes up behind me and messes up my hair, slaps me on the back of the neck, pushes my shoulder. "Son, one of these days you're going to be the best guard in football." And it just blew me up. Just gave me a dream, gave me so much hope and so much confidence. It just made a dramatic impact on my life and my play. And so from that point on, I wanted Coach Lombardi to think of me in those terms. I decided if he thought I could be great and he believed in me, then I could believe in me, and I could be great. I could take care of business, and we did, and we got our accolades in the locker room. And we went on to Super Bowl victory, and it was a wonderful game and a wonderful weekend and a wonderful coach. He wouldn't tolerate laziness or ignorance or lack of focus. He was there to win, and all the runners that run the race, only one can win. Mm-hmm. So you run not to be in the race, you run to win. So it was a wonderful lesson and a wonderful moment and a wonderful coach.
The title of a great book, that's for sure. And I've always felt that the end of your speech, "You can, if you will," is one of the greatest. And I'm glad you're well. I'm glad you're enjoying football heaven. And the people that are going to come meet and greet with you this weekend at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you can't miss him. He'll be the guy in the gold jacket. Jerry Kramer, thanks for this visit. We wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You got it. Jerry Kramer, legend, NFL, all NFL 5 times. And if you haven't been up to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, this is a great excuse to get up there. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., Jerry will be there. You can join him, a special presentation, photo ops in the Super Bowl gallery. Saturday at 10:30 in the morning, he will be there, joined by his fellow Hall of Famer from the Packers, Dave Robinson, the linebacker. They'll do an exclusive Q&A. That'll be followed by an autograph session in the Gold Jacket Lounge. Get your tickets now at profootballhof.com. We come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Get comfortable with Logan Services. Get a free water heater with the purchase of a qualifying train system when you schedule your installation now. Find us online to schedule your free estimate. Fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. This is the time. You want to be outside. You need to be outside. But do you really want to be on your feet if they're killing you? That's why I went to the Good Feet store. I stressed about knowing I would be standing at a multiple-hour event or even playing in a golf tourney where I knew I would be walking. But when I got fitted for my personal arch supports, it changed the game for me in a great way. I honestly feel much better supported and aligned, and it's taken the pressure off my lower back. I could feel the difference instantly in my test walk at the store. Just a solid foundation right from the get-go. And now, every day, everything feels a little better. Their experts will personally fit you like they did me. And do what I did. Take the test walk around the store and you'll feel the difference. I've learned it all starts with the feet. And when you get the proper support, everything feels better. You can make an appointment online or just stop in the Good Feet store. They're in Grove City or on Polaris Parkway in Westerville. Or get started right now at goodfeet.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 on 1460 AM, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday morning at 9 on 1460 AM.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. May's weather is pretty nice, but those hot summer days will be here soon, which means high utility bills from your AC running constantly. Don't wait until the heat hits to try and avoid the extra energy costs. Upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Older windows and even some newer builder-grade windows don't always seal tightly, so your cool AC can slowly slip outside without you even noticing. And your energy bills take the hit. Window Nation windows are built with insulated glass, strong frames, and tight seals that fit just right. You get a cooler, more comfortable house, and you could even see lower energy bills the first month. They're so good, Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty. Plus, they're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Save big with Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale going on now. The sale ends soon, so book your consultation at windownation.com.
Relax and let Kroger Delivery handle your grocery shopping this week. We start with only the freshest items. Then carefully pack your order in our refrigerated trucks. And our cool trucks keep your food fresh right to your door. Fresh groceries your way with Kroger Delivery. And right now, you can save $20 on your first delivery order. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary right here in Ohio. America 250 Ohio is partnering with communities across the state to bring events and experiences to all 88 counties all year long. Explore Ohio's history on dynamic driving trails, enjoy Ohio-related movie screenings, or attend engaging history talks, plus so much more. See the full calendar of events and discover what's happening near you at america250-ohio.org. Sponsored by the Ohio History Connection, aired by the OAB and this station.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, TLC. A robust show. Take us to the finish line.
All right. I have tantalizing questions for you. I say sarcastically. What is a greater honor, having a street named after you or the local zoo naming a baby animal after you?
This is. My mind immediately went to the street.
Taking it to the streets.
You're for the streets?
Some may say that is accurate. Some.
He's from the back streets of Pickerington.
Hey, this is going to be sad to say, but I got to be honest.
Oh, don't say what I think you're going to.
The street's going to be around longer?
I knew he was going to say that.
I don't know. Not in my era. We stole those.
But I think that's
a crime now in our era.
Well, but actually, I lied. A buddy of mine, we had an Anthony Drive near our house, and a buddy of mine in college went up there and got it.
Got that for you?
I don't have it anymore. I don't know what happened.
You didn't partake at all and put the ski mask on?
He actually got it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go.
But I kept it.
I'm going to go with the street. And it's only because the animal, sad to say, but it's just facts. Give me
what
the street.
What if it was like a tortoise?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you could guarantee 150 years of your memory will last.
But
do you care what they're talking about you in 2300?
That's versus a lifetime. Lifetimes. Yeah, I got to go with the street, TLC.
I did not consider that when I asked this question.
I mean, I'm going to go with the animal.
Of course.
You could visit your namesake at the zoo.
What up, little Anthony?
That's right. Little Anthony. Could find, you know what I mean? Like you'd feel a connection.
Okay.
It's about a connection, Maddie.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'd feel like a little bit more of like a proud papa kind of feel like we share the same name, and I think
how's it feel though when you're driving in that drop top Porsche you got? You know what I mean? You take a left on Rothman Drive.
Nah,
that hits a little.
Nah,
it just doesn't. I don't know. I feel weird about that.
But an animal, you're like,
somebody might run into it on purpose, knock it down.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going for the
animal,
for the
and I'm for the streets. So there it is.
So Jose Altuve, the Houston Zoo just had a baby monkey that they named Tuve after Jose Altuve.
Okay.
Do you think that he gets to go in the enclosure and feed it bottles and stuff?
I would hope.
If it's named after you, how can you not just show up at will call for tickets and be like, hey, there's a baby monkey in there named after me. I'm just going to go walk through these doors and it's going to be okay.
That's a good question. Do you get unlimited access to the animal that is named after you?
And then what would be a lame animal that you'd be like you named a cricket after me? Like
cockroach.
Yeah, the cricket that you're going to feed to the snakes and the...
Oh, man.
I don't know. What's an animal at the zoo where you're just like, geez.
Yeah. An animal at the zoo.
Because they have the reptiles and the amphibians at the Columbus Zoo in that one indoor place.
Yeah, maybe one of those.
Maybe if you're man, that lizard hasn't moved in 2 days.
Like one of those lizards.
That's what you named after me?
Some of those lizards blend in when you go to the exhibit. You're where is it? Where is it?
You're I can't even show my friends. They're not even going to believe me.
I think that would be the worst.
It's just a scene out of Jurassic Park. Well, this tour sucks.
Yeah.
Where's the T-Rex?
You got to think the elephants and the huge animals. It's hey, man, you can't miss them.
For sure. That's a win.
Well, in Columbus, Ohio, you would say the worst animal is a wolverine.
You know what? I think I may have a new goal for my career.
Oh.
My goal for my career was always to be famous, locally famous enough to throw a first pitch in a major league ballpark. That was my goal.
Okay.
I think having an animal named after me at the Columbus Zoo is my new goal.
So if the Clippers called and said, TLC, we want you to throw out first pitch, would that check that box for you?
He said major league.
It would halfway check it.
Okay.
I don't want the Clippers to hear me say this, but it would be a warm up for the Reds or the Guardians.
Wow, a ramp up.
It'd be a ramp up. But hey,
you need a full stadium.
It'd be a big day. And you know what? As far as minor league ballparks go, Huntington Park is beautiful. It is a great ballpark. Mm-hmm. So that would satiate me a little bit.
Oh. Siren.
Satiate?
I didn't even mean it.
This guy.
You're not going to believe me. I didn't mean to do that. So
satiate myself.
I mean, look, if the fine folks at I haven't met them, maybe they're not, but we'll assume that they're fine folks at the Clippers. If they were ever
You're not doing a good job at promoting your event there.
My event. If they ever were to offer me, I would say yes in 2 seconds. Wouldn't even think of it. That's not beneath me, but I'm just saying the end goal. Hey, man, there are only 30 ballparks.
Maybe it's the three of us can go out there. And knock
I'd
that
feel as you'd feel.
That
I think
would make me feel like I got robbed a little bit.
I think you'd.
Oh,
it's like wow,
sharing the
he's
spotlight with
diluted
us.
it. We're all three in front of the mound, or you and I are in front of the mound, and
Yeah.
he's on the mound. Would that be okay for you?
Nope. I'd have to throw out my own. No, we could all do it on different days. But if it's like Rothman and Ice Day and all three of us get a different player to throw
Rothman and Ice
three
Day
different first pitches at the same time.
With TLC. In small lettering. Featuring TLC.
You know what? In my annual review, that's what I should have said to Fish. I'm like, you know, the show's been named Rothman and Ice for so long. It needs needs a new punch. How about Rothman and Ice with TLC?
Yeah.
We do that. We introduce you every day.
You're a large part of the show,
we don't,
my man.
I don't.
Thank you.
I feel, and the more
I just
you
don't want
talk,
to share a first pitch with you. That's
all right.
It kind of hurts my feelings a little bit, man. All three of us out there, that'd be a vibe.
Okay, but they'd have. Well, they wouldn't have to have me back again.
What about if there were? So you don't
for me
want
to feel the.
So you don't
for
want
me to feel
the,
fulfilled. I'd have to come back again by myself.
So you don't want the three different catchers.
That's what I don't want.
Each. Okay.
I think it'd be cool, man.
It'd be cool to do that once.
Take a lot of pressure off.
He's not. What we learned is TLC's not a team player. There's tell the truth for today.
By the way, the more I think about it, I would like a lion or a leopard name. Like that would be awesome.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Common Man and Timmy coming up next. Adam Rittenberg joins at 3:30. Too Hot with Teddy, also happening as well.
All right, we come back on a Friday. Appreciate you listening. Be safe. We'll talk to you at high noon. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. New special